think I timed that pretty good, don't you? Perfect though. Welcome. Hopefully you guys are doing good. What was I gonna say? Gosh, I just wanted to start the stream, get things started. I know I said again I'll be doing it just randomly starting up. Just randomly starting up. It's the best way to get things going, at least for me. And gosh, there's just so much I kind of want to plan out for the future in a simple way, I guess, of explaining things. So I know it's been short streams. Usually it's been about 2 hours, which is extremely short, even for me. Like, I considered a short stream before to be like 3-4 hours, 6 used to be in the super, like, years ago. I think for me, a 6-hour stream was short. Some people, they do that, and that's exactly what it is, like a 5 to 6 hours short stream, to them. And then there's others where it's like, oh, an hour is a short stream, But I kind of found it funny that now I've been doing like 2-hour streams, and that's my, I guess, my new short so far, which is kind of weird. I don't plan it out to be specifically like 2 hours, but so far that's what it's kind of been, And it was just kind of funny to notice that and to see that going on and stuff like that, But yeah, hopefully you guys are having a good day. If you guys are watching the VOD, I appreciate it. Again, I don't like that it's just a black background. Maybe I can find a color or something. When my PC restarted and I had to, well, not restarted, but like when it formatted, I guess, and I had to reinstall Windows and everything again. The program I used to use, it's a free program, but I don't remember the name anymore. And I used to be able to, it was pretty much like a Photoshop, a free version of what was similar to Photoshop, but not really Photoshop. It could even use the Photoshop files and stuff like that, I remember. And it was just handy because it could convert the files over to a different file as well, And now I don't remember the name, and I used to be able to do all kinds of stuff in there. It was just like, really, it was just a great artist tool. And I think it was originally like a Japanese one, and then it became English supported. Thanks to people and fans from so long ago back then. And I don't remember the name of it. I wish I knew it, because I'm trying to find stuff like that to do little simple things like if I wanted to do like a thumbnail or something, I can't because, well, I don't have a program anymore. So I need to find like a new program or something. I know the only thing I could really find was like, what is the one that's been going around lately? That a lot more people have been using, that studio one. You have to purchase it, but I know there's a free trial version. At least I could do a little something for now in that. Gosh, I wish I knew my old one though. It really is like a detriment. That's the best way I can describe it, because I don't I can't think of any other word right now that's simple to use, but it's hurting. Yeah, hurting. Yeah, it's hurting me right now to not be able to do like just a simple background just to have in the back. Maybe I could find something real quick. Let me see. Color source, maybe? What is color source? It's a white background. Maybe that'll work though. Yeah, that might. I'm blinding myself again. Literally a literal flashbang. What if I do something like that? That's a blue. No, let's change the color. Let's go maybe this. Oh, nope. It's just so. What if I do something like that? Now it's just green screen. It makes certain things stand out. I don't know if that's better or not. You know what I mean? Because it's literally just a different color and stuff like that. What's this color? Is this color better? Oh. Is this color good? I want to see. I need to wait for it to show up on the actual stream to know. It's kind of dark and too red. Maybe I can do a dark green or something. Maybe like that. Like for before. Kind of like before, what I had. It's better than black, you know? That's all I can say. Maybe a little darker. Maybe right there. A little darker. Just a little darker. I think that'll work for now. I'll just put something like... oh no. Not remove. Rename. I'll just put green background, right? Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, welcome. Like I keep saying for some weird reason. We'll keep it as a green background or something, I guess. Best thing I can do. It's better than black, right? For now. And then I need to start moving stuff over. I know it's just random startup, random getting things started for the stream, like during the stream. But it's, in my opinion, it's better to do this during the stream because every time, I swear, like no joke, there are days where I'm literally setting up a stream for like an hour or more, and I'm like, man, if only I could just get things started. That hour could have been chatting or something like that simple, but no, it's wasted because I'm not even streaming. And I don't know, it just feels like a waste of time to not be streaming and doing all of it, I guess, at once, or like streaming and chatting while I do everything, because who knows what could happen, you know? I could be here just doing this and simple things like that, and then somebody could just find you, you know? But unfortunately, because I spent an hour and I'm tired by that time or something, you know, it sucks. It really sucks. By the way, I changed a setting with ads. I'm not sure if that will help or not. Because before it was just no, like, what is the word? What is it that they do or whatever? I think it's like anytime you join the stream, you'll get like one random ad thing, and then like you shouldn't have any more. But I'm never ever sure. Nobody ever is in there in the streams usually to tell me if it's actually a thing or not. I've heard it was, where it's like you don't turn on the ad schedules and stuff, and then that happens where what is it? You don't turn it on, it just decides it for you, or it usually, for smaller people and stuff like that, it usually just plays one at the start and then never plays again. I can't test that really because I'm the streamer, you know, so I can't actually verify or not verify that, and it's such a mixed review from other people that say it because they're also streamers or something. So I have no way of verifying it, and Twitch always changes things around, you know what I mean? So there's that as well. So I set it on another one, which a lot of people say are somewhat better, where you control it, and it says the ad, right? It does it every like 30 minutes or something like that. But I think it's like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, something like that. And hopefully that's fine, because hopefully it'll do that, and then there won't be ads when people join, and that'll help them at least decide certain things. I know they had the preview version now of doing that, so they can kind of 30-second to a minute watch before they select the actual streams, but you never know. Somebody might just click it or find a certain way, and if they get on here and there's an ad playing. Also, I set it up where in the chat it should show up as an announcement that there is an ad playing, which I seen it just go off before the stream started and stuff like that, so that's good. That's good. So it should show in the chat randomly, oh, there's gonna be an ad in like 1 minute or something like that, you know? And hopefully that helps out with certain people who don't like ads or just need to be prepared, and helps me if like certain moments in the future, oh, there's gonna be an ad, you know? Stop doing what you're doing, or telling this thing that everybody's interested in listening to, you know. So that's just a little thing for me personally to kind of just be ready for. The other thing I've noticed as well with the, not, I was gonna say with this green background, but no, not the green background. Something else I noticed is viewers who stop in. If you're just randomly watching, especially in the VOD, some way, somehow, if you could please just maybe hop in a stream and tell me physically, or go on Twitter, on my Twitter, and just either at me. I think it's an at me or something. Maybe I should put like a specific post and just pin it up there, so I'm good at noticing stuff like that. At least I can verify on that post, you know. Anyways, like, either hop in, let me know, or go to Twitter or something like that, or just some way, if you can, let me know. What was it? It literally slipped my mind, and it was very specific, and it was very important to me. It wasn't the ads. It wasn't the... Oh, that's what it is. Bitrate. So I noticed there's half and half. People that randomly stop in, people that randomly go around and stuff. They're on mobile. Mobile, usually it's better for people to, I guess, in simple terms, yes, simple terms, so I can think properly. Simple terms, lower bitrate better, but less quality, if that makes sense. Since it's a just chatting stream, I'm not sure if it's better to have a lower bitrate right now, especially since I have no quality options anymore, since it's been so long since I've been on. Maybe I should lower the bitrate, but I'm not sure at what specific bitrate. Right now it's at, like, what is this show? Is it the highest bitrate that's possible? It's like 6,000 or something. It's a little less than 6,000. It's like 5,500-ish, 600-ish, around that range when it's steady. And I got my internet to be pretty good upload, so I can go way past that, and I can definitely multi-stream way easy. Especially on YouTube, I think I can go the highest it can possibly let me, because it's like 100 up or something like that, I think, which was insane to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But yeah, as long as there's no issues, that's what it would be. But I was like thinking to myself if I should maybe lower it, because I have no quality options. And I think it's the same even in the VODs, correct? Or there's no quality options. So I'm wondering if I should lower it down, at least for a good while. Just have, I don't know, maybe 4,000 to 3,000-ish range? I'm not sure how bad that will affect the quality of the stream, but I thought it might just be better for just a little while, you know what I mean? So I guess we'll see, right? If you guys want me to lower it down and test it out on a stream or something, I would love to know, and I'll test it out one day. It's been literally the next stream. If I see anyone at all that mentions it, I'll definitely do that and try, because I know, believe this or not, in the past I literally tested out the lowest quality streams possible with the best quality of everything I could physically do, and I'd have to switch to CPU, and it would be CPU more intensive, but I was able to get like 1,000 to 2,000 bit range with it looking at a medium decent quality. It was like between a 480p to 720p range, maybe even I think it was maybe even 720p range, a stream, and it was crazy good quality for that low of a bit rate, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was just insane to me that I was able to get certain things to actually look good that way. But if like I said, if you want, if you request it, I can try doing it, or try going to a lower bit rate. If you have a recommended bit rate, maybe I can try doing that one stream and see how good or bad the quality is of the stream, and we can go from there. I know, I remember in the past, if you were able to do streams about 480p-ish, and those are usually the only streams you do, they would give you quality options for like 360p and 144p, which kind of like, well, 144p, I don't think anybody's really watching that as well, but it was kind of funny that they would give you those quality options if you were that low. But yeah, let me know. I'll be kind of trying to look out for certain little things like that. And any tips or advice you want to give or anything, or just want to say, maybe recommend a game or videos or stuff, and just random things like that. I used to have a Discord, but not anymore. I didn't see a point in it when it was just me. It's just, I think I still have it. It's just not non-existent, pretty much. I'm the only one in it. So maybe in the future, if things kick off, I can bring it back. I'm questioning it because, again, I would need moderators and stuff like that. I'm not going to be in there 24/7, you know. Do not want to be the only one in there moderating stuff like that. So, and usually I have other things I'm usually doing, or I'm enjoying my life, as you will, you know. But yeah, hopefully this green background isn't that bad, and it's decent. Maybe if there's a different color you guys would like me to try out or prefer, I can try it or use it. And in future, like I said, I'll try to get, I think, a background or something. And the more I'm thinking about it, because I'm doing it like this, next month, I really think I'm gonna scratch off doing the transition screen and go for a background. Like, the more I'm just getting on lately, the more I'm just like, man, I wish I had a background. It's kind of odd that I'm changing up things like randomly, you know. But yeah, I have to figure out what to do now with the background. Like, what I want to be created. Which one I would like. What type even would I like to be created. So I'll think about that. I'll think about that and look into that. And yeah, we'll see from there as well. I think I mentioned it last time. I moved my bed and everything around, and just everything in general a little bit. And man, it's been so different. What's weird though is, unlike the first day, today or last night, I woke up like I had moved my stuff around, and like as if I had gotten a new bed. Like my body was aching, like what's going on, you know? Maybe I slept wrong or something, I don't know, but it was just strange because I was like, that's weird. That's usually not gonna be the normal case when it's still the same bed after so long. So I don't know what was going on last night. Very strange. Very strange, I will say. So, but anyways, oh, that's right, I have to figure out, I have to detach this technically. Let me get that going. So I need to detach this. And then we'll save those. This is the main one we want. This is not, this can be over here. And then we'll full screen this. So today we're gonna be watching a couple of random, technically, I guess it's videos. It's unusual videos. I remember not watching, but like finding them a long time ago. I know it's a really popular channel nowadays, but it was just interesting because nobody was watching them, and then suddenly when I found it, a couple more people started watching them. So it was just kind of funny to notice stuff like that. There we go, perfect, it found it. So I can just transition over to it, right? Yep, perfect. But the green background on the bottom's still there. So when I do it, I have to actually turn off the background. Interesting. Okay. So we'll do that. Let me see real quick. We'll go with the first popular one because it. Excuse me. Ugh, yawn. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe it was bad sleep. Maybe it's just the bed or something. I have no idea. Maybe I just slept wrong, but I'm kind of tired, but not tired. It's like I didn't rest well. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. I just didn't rest well. But I'm not tired sleepy, if that makes sense. I'm tired, like, physically. My body's tired. Kind of strange that that's a thing, right? But yeah. Give me a little sip real quick of a drink. Perfect. Alright, let me find this video. What's the first popular one? We'll do that one. Pop that open real quick. Oh. Yeah, we'll watch a couple of these videos because I really just want to get away from just specifically one videos. And like, I don't want to just watch the same thing over and over, or the same person over and over, you know what I mean? And in the future, I do want to just hop on and stream while I am eating. I know that's not the best thing. There's certain people that don't like that, I know. But there are a lot of people that don't mind it either. And I spend a lot of time literally eating. I eat slow. I used to eat fast because like I was forced to kind of eat fast. Like I had to eat fast, and then I had to, once I was able to, you know, relax again and eat at my own pace, I once again ate slow. Funny enough. And that's what's been going on lately. It's like I just chill, relax, maybe watch a video and eat, or stream, depending on who's on. And yeah, I just kind of spend a lot of time. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on, the hiccups today. But I spend a lot of time, I've noticed, just eating and excuse me, really, what the heck? hiccups. But yeah, I always thought, why am I just not streaming and eating? And you know, I do the same thing pretty much while I'm eating. It's just relaxing and watching a video, right? But when I do that, I actually watch certain videos, unlike on stream. I maybe watch like a gaming video or something, and maybe spiritual TikTok type stuff, like videos where it's like, oh, this is what they found today. Look at this alien, or some weird stuff like that. Like, is that real or is that fake? You know, it's just like kind of funny to see some of them, or like it's interesting to see some of the stuff like that's crazy out in the world that's happening, like with the weather stuff. I don't know if you guys seen some of the crazy weather stuff that's happening, but my goodness, it's just everywhere in the world right now. The weather is crazy, right? So it shows stuff like that, and it's just a lot of interesting stuff sometimes. So I like to watch those videos too. And I definitely do not use anything other than YouTube, because TikTok, I've tried to do it one time a couple of years ago because everybody was recommending it to me, and I don't know what happened, but the account, it's just gone, or like I can't sign in anymore, and they did not help me on that support stuff. So I was just like, fuck it. Since that's the case, yeah, I don't see no reason to keep using it at all, really, you know. So I never went and I never used it again. It was kind of funny though, because I was like kind of against it, like, I don't know about that, you know. And they kind of decided it for themselves. It's just funny to me, like stuff like that happens, you know. But yeah, I just from that moment on, I kind of had, oh yeah, the main issue though was I couldn't like anybody's likes, and I couldn't follow anybody. That was a huge thing, and I was like, what is going on? Why can't, what's the point of having an account if I can't do any of that anyway? And it never let me like things, and since I couldn't follow anybody, I couldn't go to their videos and like them, or just follow anybody I liked. So it was kind of pointless, like I said. And that was just that on top of the account issue, just like never being able to get it back too, it was kind of weird. So I just, since that happened and they didn't help me, I just said screw it, you know. And yeah, that's what happened with that. That's why I just like watch it on YouTube instead. People who compile all that stuff and just find the interesting stuff instead of all the random crap. It's just so much easier to, you know, relax and enjoy on YouTube than it is to just try to find it yourself. But yeah, yeah, that's it. Give me a second real quick though. I need to go do something. So let me see if I can do, where is it? Since I am literally doing everything during the stream, text. Here we go. Create a new one. Let's see, BRB. Haha. Oh, I can change the color. Wait. Burning. Oh, here it is. Constantine. I like Constantine. Regular. Click OK. Wait, what happened? What happened? Where'd it go? Wait, why is this so small? That's strange that it's like... Huh, it's strange. Strange that it's that blurry. There we go. BRB. Be right back. Give me a second. I'll have that for later too. Alright, I'm back. Let's get that text off real quick. Oh, there it goes again. Ad in progress. See? It tells me when the ad is. But why isn't it telling me in advance before the ad comes on? I thought I put it to where it says before. We're gonna have a bit of an issue if that's the case. Is it like maybe a mod thing that it says it? No. It should tell me. But it doesn't. Strange. So, strange, yeah. That's strange. So, it does feel frequent though. It feels so frequent that ads are on. Ah! I wish there was a way to turn it off, but if you don't have it this way, it's gonna be like pre-roll ads, like before you get inside the stream, and that's also just as bad, you know? So that sucks. Let's see. What was I doing again? I'm not really sure. I'm very forgetful again. Ah, that's great, huh? But yeah, gosh. Let's just get straight into the video, yeah? Yeah. I think that's the best thing. Oh yeah, the BGM also did not loop. Let's have it loop. Is it loop now? Yes, it's loop now. Perfect. And if you've been curious about the BGM, just because, you know, some people are, it's down in the panels and descriptions and stuff of the, like if you're watching the VODs and stuff, it should be in the description. If you're on Twitch, it's on the panels down there for the music, it's BGM stuff. It's Kei Morimoto. The song is called Adventure. So it's that one. And he has like the regular version, like the normal short version, and then he has the 30-second or 30 minutes, my bad, 30-minute version for loop and loops. You know, very helpful. Because if you just get the song and download it from like DV, what is that one? Nova. Believe it or not, it has a pause in between, which was what I was using before, but it doesn't have the consistent flow of the 30-second one that he does, or he has on his YouTube. And it's much better to just enjoy it like that, in my opinion. Anyway, let's try to get into this. Shall we? Do 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 do. Which reminds me of when I used to just randomly hum the songs, like a random song. Literally just, like, I think it was Pug when I was playing with my friend. Just randomly would come up with a random tune. Out of nowhere, you know. Just randomly. There we go. Turn off the green one. And as you can see, it's unusual memes. This is the popular one, I believe. And so it is, how old is this? 3 years old. I have never really watched most of it, so most of his stuff, so most of the channel stuff, so yeah. That's why I'm doing that. Anyways, go to normal size. There we go. Turn down the BGM real quick, or I guess technically turn it off. Pause that real quick, and we can get started. Yeah. Give me a second. I am very slow today. Very slow on doing things. Click. There we go. Hopefully the audio's good. And it's not super low for you guys. If it is, I'll turn it up a little bit. I believe it's... Oh. There we go. About halfway, right? I think it should be fine. If not, I'll find out in the VOD later.
Bowl. Creamy chicken. We're gonna pour perfectly into the bowl. Ready?
What the what was that? What? Wait. Oh, that's stupid. But anything is allowed? That's wild. Wait, the cat's playing? Actually? You know, I will say this. I know a lot of people like ranch with their pizza, but I don't see it. It's not really that good. Like, now if it's like a specific pizza and it's like made to be with it, it does taste pretty decent. But like, just to have it to dip normally with like when there's already marinara sauce and stuff, you know, doesn't add it to it. It doesn't do it for me. Doesn't taste as good, in my opinion. Oof.
Ooh.
Wait, what is that?
Who asked you, bitch?
Oh, it's an owl. It's an actual owl. That's funny. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh! That had to hurt. That's aggressive, huh? Dang! Oh! Oh, no, dude! Go back. I can't do that. That's right. Dude, did you see that, though? Wasted the whole drink, and it's on the car! No! Dude, that's horrible! Feisty one, huh? Feisty cat. Don't get in his way. Some people said it's great.
Put her there. Give me some skin.
Oh, got it.
See if you can lift that, dude.
Lift what? What? Wait, what? Oh, that had to hurt, dude. That had to hurt. It went head first in that. Oh, ooh. That's not how that works, right? Is it? Or was it just like broken or something, maybe? What the heck? What the heck? Yeah, it's unusual, right? Uh-oh. He's testing it. Getting real close. Uh-oh.
Buddy?
Whoa, dude, what? Uh-oh. How did that even happen?
What's going on, buddy?
His eyes are in shock, though.
Stupid?
What the heck? So, I remember that video where it's like,
move, man.
if you like take a picture of a spider, it'll flinch, and I think it's killing it or something. Woo! Calm down, dude. Calm down. Oof. Ooh, nice catch. Oh, it's an actual. Is that a duck? Is that a duck?
You don't see that often.
Yeah, you don't.
He's on the way to Gatwick.
I'm sure there's people driving a little slower for the duck right there. Oh, it's a rock skipping. Wow, impressive.
Right, now we just done cook. Oh, no, now for y'all.
Oh, I hate that. That's happened to me a couple times, where just in general, where it's like I messed up stuff and just super rare, but it always sucks. Usually it's while I'm cooking though. Like I've literally dropped a whole potato in the trash can, and I'm like, that I can't. Unfortunate, but I'd rather go hungry, you know? Dang, yeah, really aggressive, huh? Oof, you could hear it. That's a big cat, actually. Oh, it's just she's small. That's why.
Witnesses say that it was definitely a scary sight.
And I was just going to Taco Bell, and then I hear some gunshots, and I'm like, all right, I guess Taco Bell can wait.
Yeah, I think Taco Bell can wait. Hey, he didn't say, oh, no Taco Bell today. He said it can wait. He really wanted that Taco Bell.
Bourbon, shake my hand.
Heck yeah.
Shake. Put her there, goddammit.
Oh, heck yeah. He knows the right one to do it with. Oh. You're not gonna make it. That is a big cat, by the way. For sure looks like a big cat. Dang, it puts us up there. Wait, is that the end? What? It actually is the end. That's a surprise. Okay, I did not expect that. It was a short video, huh? Let's see, let's see. We'll speed it up. Wait, it doesn't speed up? There it goes. Alright. Woo! Let's see which ones are here today. We'll watch the latest one. Go all the way. Full screen that. Hello, Code. Respect with the rules? Is that the one for Twitch and stuff? Just like be respectful, you know. The normal Twitch rules and stuff like that. Don't do anything that, you know, too crazy with it. That'll get people banned. Pretty much just simple stuff like that, you know what I mean? And just to respect the ones that, you know, be respectful to people and stuff like that that I had mentioned in there. Oops. Wait, a cow?
Buddy of mine just bought this. He says he wants these stickers removed fast. Can't do it faster than that, folks.
Wow. Aw, he just ruined his steak, dude. Funny story? Okay.
Donald Trump
Oh,
is not
that was
elected in
it.
November.
Wait, is that a dog? What's the story though? Whoa. You made him Alt F4 in the middle of the stream? Yay. Some people just, you know, they have to try it at least once a week. Yeah, some people don't know. They just have no idea about it sometimes. Which is a bit of a surprise still, you know? That there are still people out there that I guess they don't know. But there are moments where I've done similar stuff just because I literally forget. Which is kind of odd that I forget because after I do it, I'm like, how am I that dumb? a mistletoe? It really was. Oh. Whoa. One-way ticket? That's random.
See these fucking chips ahoy? Fuck these fucking chips ahoy. You see this fucking mop bucket?
Yeah.
Fuck this fucking mop bucket.
Oh, okay.
You got something behind your ear. Whoa! Ugh.
What's really funny, huh? Wait, what's that? Is that a roach?
Hurry up.
Okay. Let's see. They say Kuth? Kuth. What? That's weird.
For family.
Oh, Sophie, you're 3. Oh my god.
Ah.
Mimosa.
Got it. You did make this. I got it. That's how you do it. Got it. Try again, he said. Huh. Let me see. I'm not sure what that would say. Guess I'm ignorant on the.
So I've been doing my hair in like a comb over, but I want to do it where I push it back and has like a weight.
It's just a strange word. Oh.
There's just way too many bees.
Peace. Wait, what?
Were on the street, and when she went to some of the masajid in her village, because she was a woman.
Oh, I guess it's broken. Wait, is that a peacock? Wait, are those? Oh. Okay. Dang, that had to hurt. Dang, threw the whole cup away. Oh! That... I think everybody would have been pissed there. Milk, okay.
Oh boy, am I hungry. Let me sit down in someone else's bed and open this beautiful Nature Valley bar.
Wait, that's just dust. It just became dust. It's pronounced C-U-S-T. Oh. Even I. Why can't I? Suit? Almost like suit? Like. Huh. These videos are really short, huh? Strange. I don't remember them being this short. they? I think they're all 7. That's why, huh? What was the other one? Right. They really are short, huh? Unexpected. One extra. Oh. Wait, that's not something to take. Oh, broke it. And he broke that too.
I know it.
Oh no. Wait, what? I guess that's a thing going around now. Ooh.
Where's it going?
I don't know, babe. What a bad day. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait, what? That was a chicken? Oh no. Wait, is that a cup? That is. Oh, again. Ouch. Another cat. The hardest word I know for people to think about is too hard.
Boy, I can't wait to eat food off of my
Yeah,
favorite
it seems
plate.
like it,
Hopefully
huh?
nothing bad is it.
Mom's biological dad.
English speakers don't understand it. Yeah, I think so. That's it.
$700? You're joking.
I had to have it. It's a new M480.
No,
It's a million lumen.
It's a flashlight.
It's a million lumens.
I am pregnant.
I had to have it.
that one was so random. Random out.
Volkswagen.
Oh, throw a rock on that shit, TJ. That ain't
Oh. Okay,
Guarda solo
just
che i miei gatti mi guardano
right in
male, siamo
there.
a posto. Ecco.
Kurwa. Co robisz?
Is that? Those are skates. What? Ooh, that's gonna be hard to clean up.
Some fucking National Geographic. J'attends ma grand-mère et tout. Bye bye, merci beaucoup. Je rigole, je rigole.
Oh no. Wait, what is that? Wait, they make drinks that big? Or beers or whatever that is? Whoa! No way, dude. Wait. Oh man. Uh-oh. The guy. Oh, that was funny.
You're literally.
Ooh?
No zatrzymaj się,
Uh-oh,
kurwa,
uh-oh.
weź zatrąb, kurwa, daj ja zatrąbię.
Oh man. This one's a good one, it seems like.
Dude, I need a foot massage so bad. Bro, I'm not giving you a foot massage. That's just
Yeah, I wouldn't do that shit either.
Can't tell how fast you're going if there's something there, huh? Oh. That'll wake everybody up. Is that? Yeah, those are farm animals, alright. Oh! Right on the kid, I think. Ooh. Okay. Wanna know the worst word and try it? What word is it? Is that bad?
Somente com a tampa da panela. Agora a gente abre a tampa e vê.
Oh, eBay?
You need medical attention or you're here to report a crime, you need to leave.
Hacen de todo, mira, se roba la tapa del hidrante, venden ropa, y este es el perro electricista, mira, ese chihuahua.
Is that that was a Chihuahua?
Know that your bumper's in his car.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
It's not
good.
said like that? Really?
Say hi to the camera. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna drink this in 15 seconds.
Oof. Oh,
Oh, bro, that's a huge ass paragraph, bro.
it's pronounced Shive. But the she is so heavy, it starts to sound like a J. So it's Jive?
My beans are ready.
Oh!
Yum.
Oh! Wait, is that... and they're eating. He's just happy. It's not Jive either?
Tonight's tea. Marks and Spencer's pizza and some McDonald's looking chips. And then I'm gonna fucking go out and cause a fight. Who the
Chips?
fuck you talking to?
Wait, that's fake, right? No, that's real. That's also real, huh?
Nothing is fixed about this.
Oh, she's catching herself. All in reverse. Oh no. The E is silent and the Y is pronounced as a J. So it's just Jeep? No wait. Dip? These really are quick, huh? Interesting. It's like GIF. GIF. Where everybody pronounces it differently. GIF and GIF. Oh yeah. Let's see, the most popular one. That one. Huh? 5 years ago. Wow, it's been so long, huh? Let's see, my controller. Well, not my controller. There we go. Ooh.
Oh.
The I is like GIF. Oh, why did I read that wrong? Could be Jiv. Jiv?
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh no. No. Not like this. Oh, perfect timing. That's a stick of butter. Okay. Random.
Oh.
Ooh. The eyes. Oh no, Battle Bandit. Yep, it's pronounced Jiv is the word you. Oh, you pronounce Jiv. Is the word if you wanted to say it in the third person about yourself. Oh, which is surprising common. Oh. Okay.
Yo, look
That
at
is-
this fucking bullshit.
Interesting.
What the fuck? Do a flip!
Good person. Oh, he actually did a flip too. Dang. That is surprising though. To me, it's surprising, but I guess surprisingly common.
Fine. If I can't have my shoes, Karen can't have her mom.
Oh, that's messed up. Oh. The ad. No, the ad.
Hole in one.
It's blurred out. I guess they Oh, got turbo, huh? Nice. Like, you don't realize how many times you talk about yourself in third person until you think about it. True. I don't feel like I ever say or talk about myself in third person, but I guess that's true. Because we do use a lot of third person type words, don't we? Huh? I never realized that. Yeah, huh? That's interesting. I never think about that stuff sometimes, you know? I do randomly think about random things, but it's usually the most random stuff sometimes. Oh no, not this mix combination.
Number 11.
Pause
Your
this.
father will die.
Pause which one? Oh, you mean just in general? Ah, this is what it is. Thank you. Appreciate the follow. If you were a second person looking at yourself, would you be different? In my opinion, no, because you're looking for yourself inside yourself, right? It's like when people are looking, I guess, at themselves in a mirror, right? You're still the same person, right? Technically. Unless you have two different minds, like the people in, what is it, with those personality disorders and stuff? Or like, not personality disorders, but like, with two different personalities. Technically, they're different, right? I mean, if you copy yourself and made a clone, then in that case, yes, you are two different people. You are, yeah, you would be different because from the second the clone was made and he knew he was a clone, and he went to a store, right, to then come back and then talk to you or something, you just had a different experience, right? So yeah, I would think so, right? I would, in my opinion, yes. Even if they were just like right at the same moment and nothing else happened, I think it would be pretty much different. And would you be descriptive or perceptive or both? Hmm. I wonder. That's a hard one. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe both. Both, right? Maybe both for me in my head. Yeah, I think it would. Because if I knew ahead of time, yeah, maybe. Like you, or are you a collection of whatever? What? No, sorry. The collection of what everyone thinks it's you, and if we took every reference point, would that be the objective you? If it was me. Let me think about this. If we took it as a collection of what everyone thinks is me, it wouldn't be me. It would be a different me for sure. 100%. I'm positive of that. So it would be a different me. Or, like, it would be the old me and not the current me. Yeah. So it would be a different me. Or, technically, it would kind of be more of the past me. Leaning more closer to the past me, in other words. So there are multiple yous. Yes. Yes. There are definitely multiple me's, in my personal opinion. Which you are you right now? The current me, weirdly enough, probably a mix between old me and new me, I want to say. Or like, yeah, it's somewhat of a mix between old me and new me. Right now, yeah. That would be the best way I could say it. What perspective is this you? What's the best way to describe that? Huh. The perspective. That's good. What what is the perspective? Maybe if I had to describe words for it, right? Maybe a mix of somewhat of a mix of smart and dumb. I always say that. uh Nice or kind to a lot of people, honest and stuff like that, but also more on the lazy side, which is weird too. But that's also because now of fatigue and stuff like that. So it's not really laziness. You see what I mean? That's where the new and old kind of mix into certain things. Uh what else? And if we're going with the new and old, script is yeah, okay. What else? It would kind of be somewhat of a medium hardworking, not like the old hardworking where it's like, oh yeah, you could do all this. It's more like a mix of hardworking, but not super hardworking anymore. I would say. And what else? Planning. What would be the best word to kind of say of a planner kind of thing, but not initiating it fully through all the time, but sometimes I want to say. So it's like plan certain things out, and does it get done? That just depends. Unlike before, where it would plan stuff out or decide something 100% it was going to happen. So something somewhat of a mix like that, I want to say. I'm sure there's more and I'm just forgetting it. But I think those are the best words so far, at least right now. I could kind of describe the current me, right? question? Sure. Always free to ask questions. Is this the most real you? Oh, ha, ha. I like questions like this. The mind questions. Like, is this a mask? Oh, okay. So, the most real me. I think the only way somebody could see the real you is if they were to actually be inside your mind and feel your own emotions. Because there are certain things that they'll never experience without something like that, right? But if is this a mask? I would say no, because it's not like I'm putting on a mask, right? Some people just kind of react a little differently. I want to say with their environment. I've noticed a couple people have mentioned that, and it's not like they're faking anything, right? It's just at certain environments they're more standoffish, but if they talk to you and get to know you, they're you know more friendly or like more interactive with that certain person. So I would say, yeah, it's most a real me that's me as possibly can be, kind of. As like initial first encounters and stuff like that, right? To a lot of people. Or like the current me right now is the most real me as I can make it to be. Or I want it to be, even. Yeah. Another question? Okay. Go ahead. What is the best possible you that you see right now? The best possible me. Like, what I would like. No. The me that's current, right? That's what you're saying. That I can see myself being currently. I'm gonna say, right? Correct? Something like that. If we're going with the best possible me right now. So the best possible me is pretty much, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So the best possible me is pretty much one, if I was to 100% everything and take away any of the negatives and stuff like that, or go for the best way I can possibly do things. It's 100% I would be on consistently more often on stream. 100%. I would be more hardworking like I used to be again, and kind of have more energy for sure. I want to say, and so that would lead to a lot more, just more things getting done, more more planning being perfected and stuff like that, and I would definitely probably be on again, like on at least on here on streams and stuff for sure, even like 12 hours and stuff again, like I used to be, back in way back when I first tried it out and stuff like that. And what else? I would still be kind. I would still be nice and stuff like that. I guess the only thing different would be maybe mental, like not forgetting things and stuff like that again. Cause I don't remember that having been an issue before. I used to be really good at remembering a lot of stuff. I still am at certain things, but yeah, something like that. A mix of that and combined, maybe also being able to cook again, like having that passion to cook. Oh, the passion stuff. That's right. So I feel like I've lost certain passions and stuff, and I kind of want that back as well. If my best one, I would be able to once again get back into drawing, which I used to do, but I don't really. I still appreciate art and stuff, but I used to actually be really good at it, and I kind of lost that and doing that and practicing it as I used to be. I want to say So bringing that back would be crazy good to have like passion or just for anything in general. Like maybe just I had a passion for streaming again, like fully, like I used to have for drawing back then, which was I loved that. I loved to drawing back then. So if I had that passion again, like super more, how do I describe it? Like, tell me more. I can try. The passion, I guess, right? That's kind of what we're going for. And like, what was going on with that? Before I used to be able to see something, right? Oh yeah, I see this, and I draw it. I would literally all day, nonstop, until I went to sleep. Wake up, continue it, stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. If I do something, it's maybe for a couple minutes or stuff like that. Like, so that passion of doing something until it's done is what I feel like I've lost heavily compared to before. So having that where I'm sticking to it nonstop, even if it's several days or even a month if it takes, and just, continuing it and finishing it through 100% without stopping. And even I used to be able to do stuff like that without sleeping too, because that's how that's how much I loved it. And what's stopping you from achieving this? Because I hear self-doubt. See, that's what I don't know. That's where certain stuff like that comes up. Believe it or not, I have no idea. It's just kind of dwindled down or gone away. And oh, you know what? Something I've noticed about that. I think maybe this is the reason is a lot of stuff I had planned out, especially in life, had literally, no matter what I've done, right? Something in life will, out of my control, literally natural disasters, literally the location or maybe job or something will stop me and physically deny it. I guess you could say, like, oh, here's a hurricane. Well, now this stopped. You can never do that again. It's stuff where certain stuff in my life has literally, without my control, impossible to stop it, has stopped that certain thing from happening, and it's detoured my life so much so I can no longer go down that specific route. I have to do it a different route or start completely over. So I guess that's why, kind of like, so over and over stuff like that happening has kind of like, what's the point? Kind of stuff like that, I guess. Can you stop your normal train of thought? Because if you try and it fails and you keep trying and it fails, maybe try B or C. Agreed. Yeah. So it's like, I can try to do that, but it's never going to be the same way. So let's say, for example, somebody wanted to go to college. Now that college is out of their option completely forever, right? For whatever reasons. And then they can't go to another one because of the previous issues with the other college, right? I want to say. And then, so now they have to go either solo routing and become famous, or like, not even famous, but like going alone in something and having to do it like that. And that's what the other options, I guess, would be. So it's more difficult, still kind of possible, but not really. It's like way more difficult, right? Because what you're doing now, we know this won't work at your max. Which one's that? Or is that what you mean just at in general? Like, my thinking, in general. Excuse me. Hiccup right there. I don't know what's going on. Hiccups lately. Let me play the BGM real quick. It's just background noise for me, so I can turn it down for me specifically. So it's not just pure silence, So what perspective can you have? What version of you can you have that can have your max? Oh, so what do I have to change currently, or I have to improve on of myself that will help me be the best me or the max of everything? Let's think about that. I guess the best first thing I would have to do, right? Or wait, let me think about this. What perspective can you have? What version of you can you have that can have your max? The first thing, I guess, let's see, if we take it into streaming context, at least for streaming, the first thing I would have to do is, one, get on every day. At least that's in my perspective, something like that, right? So that would be leading into the characteristic of consistency. What is that? What is that other word I was using before, where it's like, what is it? I can't. Gosh, why can't I think of it now? It's so it would be more consistent with the hardworking and passion aspects, I guess, where it's like, I'm going to do this. I won't delay it. I'm going to make sure it happens, kind of mentality, or like that passion or something of certain things, right? So that would be the first thing. The other thing would be, what would it be? The learning aspect of when I wanted to learn certain things, even if it took all day and stuff. So it would be kind of like characteristics of what? What would that be? What characteristics would those be? Just a passion for learning, I guess, again, right? Or even if I kind of still have that, it's just, what is that? Because we don't want the mask of being great. We want great raw. True, we do want great raw, right? We don't want to just act great. We want to be great. Yeah, inside and out. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you're right. So that's, again, I guess that would be, at least for me, in my perspective, that'd be that passion, all that again, right? That would help with it, I guess. So that, I guess there would need to be a trigger for that, huh? At least for me, in my personal opinion. Because what's weird is I've noticed certain things will trigger that passion, even if it's short. It triggers it again, and it's, I like that. Even if though it's short compared to before, it's still those triggers, whatever they are that are random. I do want those to be longer, I guess, or yeah, it would have to be longer, right? To help out with the getting the rawness of everything again. Because certain things like that would trigger changes in me specifically to do certain things again, which is kind of odd. I don't know why that happens now. No clue why. It's just something I noticed over the years now. Yeah. Interesting. Question: do you want the complex version or the simpler version? I guess we can go complex. I don't mind complex. That's not, I'll have to, maybe if it's super complex, I'll have to think about it. But I don't mind complex. I like thought-provoking stuff too as well. I don't mind it at all. I used to love all that stuff, you know. Makes you think, right? Excuse me. Oh, it must be long, huh? Look into Richard Paul and Linder Elder. Okay. Let's see. Right here. Oh, where did my mouse cursor go? And their critical thinking. Okay. Let's see. They're not copyrighted also. Okay. Wait, is that, do you want me to do it in YouTube specifically? Is that what you're saying? Because I was just gonna search it up on the search engine. If it's YouTube, yeah, okay, YouTube. Okay, let's see. Let's see, where is it? Richard Paul and Blender Elder. Okay. Critical thinking full summary. Richard Paul, is that the first, like the first one? Look up the 6 levels of critical thinking also. Okay, let's see. And then 6 levels of thinking. I'll show it in just a second. Pull this down. Is it?
Welcome to the success space.
Oh. I'll just pull up the results over here real quick. So, this one, is it the first one right here? Oh, why did it? There we go. Is it the first one right here that you're talking about? And then for the other one, is it the first one as well? Go filter. Oh, okay. Filter. Alright. Which one? 20-minute plus. Okay, so we'll do that. Oh, this one? Critical thinking overview? No, it can't be that one. Yeah, it is the first one. Okay, we'll open that one. And then, where's the other one? Wait, where'd it go? So we'll watch that one. And then the critical thinking one was this one. Over here was that one. And was it that one as well? And then these. Which one's these? Like the 6th level thinking one. It's its first one. Just that song. Home math use a different model. Oh, this one. Levels basic version. What do you mean that's the title of it? Use a different model. Oh, you just mean Hose Mass uses a different model. I don't know why that in my brain didn't click. So we'll watch, let's watch this one first then. It's an hour. They use a qual. Okay. Pause that. And then we'll watch this one, right? The overview of critical thinking. And then we'll go back to the 6 levels. Then we'll go full screen again. There we go. Let's see what they say. Oh, why is it so low?
To this presentation, in which I will be focusing
It's just
on
low in general,
the foundations of critical thinking.
Gotta turn it.
The title of my presentation
There we go.
is Advancing Critical
Somewhat.
Thinking Throughout Education and
Bald is
Across
very
the
different. Oh.
Professions, in every classroom, in every country, in the world. We could go further into say in every profession, in every business, in every family,
Hopefully
in every
that's loud
part
enough.
of human life.
Critical thinking throughout
I'm
education
going
across the
to
professions in
focus
every
on
classroom in every
the
country in the
fundamentals
world.
of critical thinking in
Okay.
a very brief introduction. And what this means is
This
that I
feels
will
like a
not
class
be able
now.
to get into contextualizations within your field. I will leave it up to you to do this. What I am going to do is to help you begin to see the toolbox of critical thinking, or to better see it, so that you can better use it in your classrooms with students and in every part of your life.
Okay.
You can take
Two core
essentially
theoretical approaches
one
to
of
critical
two core theoretical approaches to critical thinking. The first is what is typically done, and that is through an emphasis on critical thinking skills and abilities, often reduced to thinking skills. And the second, and the approach that we use, is through the development of intellectual and ethical character, which we see as at the heart of critical thinking.
So it's
Now, to give you a
your
sense
personality
of
and stuff,
these two
right?
different approaches, here you see 35 dimensions of thought, and here we're going to
That's
see
a lot.
skills and abilities embedded in these dimensions. And there are more. This
Effective
is a beginning
dimension,
place.
okay.
Here you
Cognitive
see
dimensions.
thinking independently under
You know what's
affective
crazy?
dimensions.
Maybe this also has
the
a
first
play
category.
into
Developing
personally me.
insight into egocentricity
I
and
know there was a
sociocentricity.
huge issue
Well,
with
you
my
should
cognitive
see
ability
right away that
at a
this is
specific
going beyond
point, which
the
wasn't there
typical
previously.
emphasis on
I'm not sure if
skills
it
and
changed or not,
abilities,
but
which we see
I do know
here
that
under
maybe
cognitive
that could be a
dimensions,
factor.
Micro skills, for example, comparing and
skills, okay.
contrasting ideals, thinking precisely about thinking, noting similarities and differences. These, of course, are important, but we've got to go beyond this to focus on the development of intellectual character, intellectual
okay.
virtues, unpack what we mean by this. And here are
Confidence,
some of the
reason, intellectual
core
perspective,
intellectual
fair-mindedness,
virtues
intellectual
at the
courage,
heart of a
empathy,
substantive conception
autonomy,
of critical
integrity,
thinking.
and humility. Traits of virtue.
This is an important piece in our approach to critical thinking. What we want, in other words, is not to develop students who can simply identify relevant information. You see how that's a micro skill? Gather information.
Gathering is
state
different.
their purpose. These are important.
Those
But
are
what
two
is
different
more
things,
important
actually.
is
Yeah.
whether they are living, whether our students are living in accordance with intellectual character or virtues. For example, to what degree do they embody intellectual humility? To what degree are they able to recognize the difference between what they do understand and what they do not understand? To what degree do they even care whether someone else agrees with them, or whether they are able to think within other points of view. And now I'm getting into intellectual empathy.
Oh, that's
So we have
so that you
intellectual
would
humility,
categorize it as
the
that.
ability to
Okay,
distinguish
as
between
empathy.
what we know, what we do not know, intellectual empathy, the propensity to think within points of view that are different from our own, or points of view that we've never considered,
Mhm.
and even points of view that we disagree with.
Yeah.
So these are two of the intellectual virtues we would want our students to embody. We want them to have intellectual autonomy, to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, and in terms of their thinking. In other words, we want them to be able to stand alone with their beliefs as long as they are thinking critically about the things that they're standing alone about. So we don't want them to just say, well, I'm going to be different and I'm not going to agree. No, that's not the point. The point is, have you thought something through critically? And if you have, are you willing to stand alone in your beliefs when the crowd may be against you? That's very unusual. It's hard to do, and it's often the case that people who do this are ostracized by others in society. To what degree are the students able to persevere through issues, problems, complexities? To what degree do they give up easily, or instead keep moving through these difficulties until they find answers? To what degree do they have the courage to look
Goes
into
into a
their
lot,
own
okay.
beliefs? Intellectual courage.
That's
And
intellectual courage.
There are
Really.
others. These are some of the most
I'm
important
learning. I'm
intellectual
learning again.
virtues that have been handed to us through the history of ideas over time, and that we have also contributed to. Now, so we want our students to develop these. We've got to find ways to help them develop these, and we want them to
Hypocrisy,
then,
arrogance, unfairness,
therefore,
laziness,
not
disregard
embody the
for justice,
opposites
distrust
these
of reason,
traits.
cowardice,
And
centeredness,
you see the
and
opposites
conformity.
here, the ones that I just
Traits of
was
the
focusing
undisciplined
on.
mind.
So
Oh.
the opposite of intellectual humility,
So-
which I was talking about before, is
This is
intellectual arrogance.
Very.
Intellectual arrogance
How would I describe
means
this?
that we think we already know enough.
I see a
We
couple
don't need to know more. We're
just
not open
randomly
to
here
hearing
and
other
there.
sides of an
It's not that
argument.
many, like
Our
2 or
minds
3.
are shutting down. And
Maybe
all
hypocrisy
of
would
us
fall into
engage
something
in
like
this way of
kinda
thinking.
maybe.
All of us sometimes
Maybe.
think that we know more than we do know.
That's how you
and
define
we've got
hypocrisy,
to
I
push
guess.
against
Which,
that if
what
we
is
want
it
to develop
technically fully
as
defined as?
critical thinkers. The
Let me
opposite of
look that
intellectual
up.
integrity, intellectual hypocrisy. Saying one thing and doing something
Oh, she
else.
described it right there.
Saying
Saying one thing and doing
meaning
another thing.
something else.
Yes. Okay.
Intellectual conformity, the
Perfect.
opposite of
Thank you
intellectual autonomy.
for actually defining that for me.
We want our students to, again, have intellectual perseverance.
That's
rather than
actually
being
something I
intellectually
do
lazy.
nowadays compared to what
We
I
want them to
didn't
be
do.
fair
I fully
instead of
went
being
through with certain
unfair.
things.
And you can see
And it's
the
even
other
certain things with
examples.
myself, yes.
So what we need to do is to teach these concepts
I want to get
explicitly
out of
to
that
our
again.
students, so they have
Even though
a
I don't fully
chance
always
to
do that,
internalize
I don't
them
try to
and
do that
s-
as well.
and to apply them to their own
The fact
thinking
that it's
and
just
to develop their character
there
in the
now
direction
at certain times
of
is not what I
fair-minded
want. I want it
critical
gone.
thinking. So there isn't a way to teach intellectual virtues other than teaching them.
Mhm.
And of course, we don't have time.
Nope. I paused that. That was loud for me.
Time to get into instructional
we go.
design, but one thing that we can do to develop intellectual empathy, for example, is have students reading within the thinking of other people. So, in other words, reading an article, reading a book, and then role playing the thinking of the author of that written work. That is something that we can bring into the classroom on a regular basis.
Excuse me.
So,
I don't know why I got hiccups so much
now,
today.
what we want then in the long run is to develop what our founder Richard Paul termed strong sense critical thinkers, and this he coined this term
someone
in the
did something.
1980s. And by this he means fair-minded critical thinkers, skilled thinkers characterized predominantly by these traits.
Links.
The ability and tendency to question deeply one's own views.
No links. It
And
gets
to
auto banned.
reconstruct
Whatever that
sympathetically
is.
and imaginatively the strongest versions of viewpoints and
Seems like an
perspectives
advertisement.
opposed to one's own. The ability and tendency to reason dialectically, multilogically, in such a way as to determine when one's own point of view is at its weakest and when an opposing viewpoint is at its strongest. So a critical thinker is looking to embody these traits and is not trying to avoid them or acting in bad faith.
Okay.
The ability and propensity to change one's thinking when the evidence would require it.
I do that. I say my like if
Without
I
regard
feel
to
like
one's
something is
own
a
selfish
fact,
or vested interests.
if somebody
Now, this
proves
is
me wrong
a
with actual
very
like
big,
proof and everything and like
point, and it's
I
the
would
opposite
say
of it
okay,
is
yeah,
a
I'm
big
wrong.
problem in human life.
I know a lot of
So,
people don't, but
people are often
I do
selfish,
that.
and
I'm
groups,
willing
they often
to
are focused
admit
on their
I'm wrong.
vested interests, and therefore,
So that's
in
one thing
those
I still got
cases,
going for
they
me.
often do not
Yeah.
want to see the evidence that would require
Oh
them
no!
to
Show me
to
the
see
evidence. Show me that I'm
their
wrong.
behavior and their thinking in a more accurate light. So
I
we
am
want
willing
to
to
develop strong sense critical thinking.
know I'm
We
wrong.
want to avoid weak sense critical thinking. And all of us sometimes are weak sense critical thinkers, and hopefully sometimes strong sense critical thinkers.
Yeah. I try to
So
be.
weak
Yeah.
sense critical thinkers are those who use skills and abilities to some degree,
Mhm.
but mainly to serve their selfish interests.
To
and are
serve their
often
selfish interests.
unfair or
Unethical.
thinkers.
Oh, okay.
They have these tendencies.
So it's arrogance,
They do
pretty
not
much.
hold themselves or those with whom they ego-identify to the same intellectual standards
Mhm.
to which they hold their opponents. And they do not reason
Oh.
pathically within points of view or frames of
You know,
reference with which they
that's
disagree.
becoming a lot more common
So
nowadays.
This is what we want to avoid.
A lot of people
and
are
what
doing
we want
exactly
to
that,
encourage
which she said we
is
don't want
the
them to
opposite.
be. Yeah,
And
the
again,
opposite.
weak
We
sense
want the
critical
opposite, but
thinkers
a lot more
tend
people
to
are
think
doing exactly just
monologically
that.
within a
Unfortunately.
narrow viewpoint. So they may
I
be
have
good
noticed
at
that
thinking
myself.
within a field, but not more broadly.
You,
Very good engineer.
you know what's
highly
crazy?
skilled in that.
Let me pause that. What's crazy about that is that narrow perspective. I used to think of certain things really well in one area, and I couldn't figure out the full whole perspective of certain things. And now I can't narrow things down as much as I would like compared to before. I was really good at that, and I think it was when I got my first like hardcore job or whatever, something like that. That I had to look at everything, and it was kind of hard, super hard. But then I couldn't look at just the one anymore, and just pinpoint, oh, this anymore, like simple like that anymore. I don't know why I'm saying like that, like anymore, again, so much. But I've noticed that happen. It's not once you get out of that, just seeing one thing and seeing the whole picture of certain things, you can't not see the whole picture compared to just the one thing that you want to see as much. So it's hard to get back into narrowing this one thing down. You're not good at it anymore compared to before. I guess at least that's what it feels like to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it kind of felt like to me.
But not so skilled as a parent or as a person who is thinking in terms of civic responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And they tend to use intellectual skills selectively and self-deceptively to foster and serve, again, their selfish interests, often ignoring the truth. And each of us needs to think
I don't do that.
about the
feel
degree
like.
to which we are strong sense or weak sense critical thinkers. And weak sense critical thinkers also use critical thinking skills to identify flaws in the reasoning of others and sophisticated arguments to refute others' arguments before giving those arguments due consideration. They justify their irrational thinking through highly sophisticated rationalizations. They're highly skilled at manipulation. So
You know what this
again,
sounds like?
This is what we want.
It sounds a
our
lot like
students
a
to
lot of
avoid.
people
We want to move
lately.
them toward
This really does feel like
fair-minded
what a
critical
lot more
thinking, where they
people are
concerned with
gearing,
the rights
like,
and needs of others,
leaning
while
towards,
also
like, or
pursuing
they are, or
their
have
own
become.
desires, and they want to
Weirdly enough,
help
that's how the
create
world feels like it's
a
become more
rational
often lately.
world.
And so that means
here is
a lot of
moving
people
forward then
are
to
lacking
some other
severely in
of
critical
the
thinking then, right? Correct?
concepts in critical thinking. We focused a little bit on intellectual virtues, and what I can do is give you an overview of the concepts in our approach that are at the core of our approach. And of course, there are many other concepts that emanate out from these. But to give you a sense of the overview, I've just focused on the center of this, the cultivation of intellectual traits, virtues, dispositions, or, in other words, intellectual character. And above that, we see the assessment of thought and the analysis of thought. I'll be getting into each of these very briefly. So if we're going to think critically, we want to cultivate these traits, how do we do this? Well, to some extent, by understanding what's involved in reasoning and then applying intellectual standards to reasoning in order to properly assess the reasoning that we're doing. And then we have to be concerned with the problems that run across human life, and those are the problems of egocentric and sociocentric thinking. These are complicated concepts, but they're actually simple in terms of their core meanings. Egocentric thinking meaning selfishness or intellectual arrogance, stuck in your way of thinking, unable to get outside of your way of thinking, being narrow-minded. And then sociocentric thinking as group selfishness, or what I term groupishness.
That's
So
where
that's
they're in a clique and
looking out
stuff,
for
and
my
they kind of
group,
have
but
a
not
certain
being concerned
mentality.
about the broader
Oh,
picture for the human species.
yeah, okay.
the
It's
country,
it's my
for
kind
all
of thinking
countries,
where,
and for
like,
all people.
screw everybody else
So
if my
these
family's
are
safe.
the,
But that
this
kind
is the
of,
core,
at a certain
and
point,
of course,
you have to start
we need to
thinking like that, in my
understand that
opinion.
Not only
Even though it's
are we
not the
focusing
best,
on thinking, but thinking
it
is
sometimes there's
related
certain
to
moments you
feelings
have
and
to think
desires.
like-
So that is also theory that we would need to cover if we were going
Now, if
to
it was just something
spend
basic,
more time
yeah,
on this introduction.
or possible even,
So,
like, where we can do
for
certain
our
things, yeah.
purposes here, I'm going to burrow
I
in a
can
bit
see,
to these
I can see that being an
concepts,
issue
having
overall.
begun already with the focus on the cultivation of intellectual traits, or the centerpiece here.
But if we go into that as well, it's like
You can think
certain
of
points
your
where, like,
mind
you want to feed
as
your family compared to
continually
somebody that's random,
figuring
right?
things out. Now,
That's what I
maybe
kind of feel like.
continually
That's where
is
it
not
goes into more extremes, I guess.
the
But
best word,
it kind of
maybe
falls kind of
routinely,
like that.
because you're not always figuring things out, but you are very often figuring things out as you move through your day. And you've got to figure things out as you drive down the road or ride the subway or
Yeah.
whatever you're doing.
So
You've
multitasking?
got things coming at you, and you've got to figure them out. If you're on the computer, if you're dealing with
Streaming is kind of
anything
like
having to do with
similar,
the internet,
like
things are coming at you.
multitasking.
What sense are you making?
I will
of
say
those things
I'm not
is
the
question.
best at multitasking
And the sense
sometimes.
that you're making,
But I've
of
gotten
those
better.
things has to do with the reasoning that you're doing.
But again, that's also
in your mind
like I've
as you're
changed.
observing or dealing with the situations that are coming at you or that you are creating.
In fact,
So
let me
what
pause
this means.
In fact, all this so far has reminded me of something I've noticed where it's like at a certain point, and as well with the cognitive stuff, in my opinion. I've noticed at a certain point there was a moment I noticed it really well where I started to lose the patience and like not even just not even patience. It's the ability to think properly to keep it there. It's like it's not me doing it; it's my brain doing it. Weirdly enough, which is again, I think that's where the cognitive issues started to come in and played a factor into it. But it's like I couldn't think anymore after like an hour, and it was like, what? That's strange, right? And then eventually it lessened down to 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, this is weird. And it's like, what I mean by that is like, no matter what, if I was to sit there and listen to a, especially without breaks, it's like sit there, listen to a lesson, like just a plain lesson, right? That somebody was giving out or speech or something, right? After that hour, but which turned down later to 30 minutes, and I haven't tested it lately, you know, so I have no idea how long it is now or if it's even like an issue anymore. But because I was trying to get that dealt with and stuff before, and a lot of happened, like I said, but you know, no idea what it is now. But the thing I was saying was, at that certain marker point, right, a time that passed that 30 minutes, uh my brain would literally go to mush, like it just imagine a machine just burning out and smoke coming out, you know. It was like that. I couldn't think. I had to literally distract myself because it was like, what is going on? My brain is like frying. I can't think. Like, even if I sit there and listen, my brain just in and out. And it was so weird because I never had that issue, like I said. But it was something I noticed that happened eventually, and I didn't know what was going on. That's why I always found it as an issue back then. Like when it started happening, it was very strange. I never had that issue. I could sit there for hours and look at somebody and retain pretty much mostly everything, you know, and never have really an issue and remember certain things like that. So I don't know. For some reason, this video right there, just all that, just now, kind of reminded me of that.
Is that reasoning,
That little thing right there,
which
that
is
kind
the
of,
way we figure things out
I don't know.
fundamentally
It just started
through the
bringing
mind.
it.
Reasoning is at the heart of the human animal, and yet it is
Human animal.
fundamentally ignored. And almost all theory of critical thinking is fundamentally ignored in human societies as
Nowadays,
today.
yeah,
Now,
today.
there are bits and pieces of it here
That's
and there.
a
And
good way to
that
describe that, or to say that.
That is, you'll see that you know some of these concepts and they connect with some idea that somebody that you read about in some book. But these ideas are coming to us often in an unintegrated way, and so we don't see the patterns. We don't have a system for reasoning at a higher level, or a system for opening reasoning that we are all using as a species. So what we're arguing for is the lingua of critical thinking, the language of critical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are involved in teaching languages, then you know that
what?
this is not an easy thing to do.
Was there
But
ever
all of us need to be using
a critical thinking, like an English
the tools
critical
of
thinking
critical
thing?
thinking.
Because I believe
So
there
now
was. I think I
we're
took a
looking
class back in
through our
high school or
minds
something about
at situations. We're also creating situations.
language critical
And we
thinking
do
or
this
something like
through
that.
The elements of reasoning, and when we are opening up
I feel like I
reasoning,
did.
we need then criteria
It was specifically about
to assess
words
that reasoning,
and
that
English
that
class.
criteria falls under the category of what we call intellectual standards.
It wasn't like a specific.
So
it was literally
the
an English
elements of
specific
reasoning
language arts kind of
can be seen
thing.
in a circle.
I remember that. It kind of has a credit for that.
And what this means is that whenever you reason, no matter what you're reasoning about or what you're reasoning through, or what age you are,
Purpose. Goals.
or how well you reason,
Objectives.
or how smart you are,
Question
or
at
think you
issue,
are.
problem, issue.
Whenever you reason,
Information,
you're
data, facts,
using
observation,
these
experience,
elements.
interpretation and
You
interference,
cannot
conclusions,
avoid using them.
concepts,
You may not
theories,
be aware that
definitions,
you're using
laws,
them,
principles,
but you are
models,
using
assumptions,
them. They may be functioning at the unconscious
axioms
level,
taking
which they
for
often
granted,
are, but
implications
you're still using
and
them.
consequences,
So,
point of view, frames of reference, perspective,
when
orientation,
you
elements of
are
thought.
teaching, you have
I
purposes.
did not learn this specific
and
stuff.
you're asking questions.
Okay.
You're using information to decide how to put together your teaching strategies. You're coming to conclusions about that information.
Brainstorming
you
and stuff,
are
yeah.
developing concepts that will guide your instruction.
Clarity,
These will be
accuracy,
directly connected
perceptions,
with your assumptions
relevance, depth, breadth,
and
significance.
also connected directly
Use
to
for
your point of
sensitivity of
view.
universal intelligence standards. Okay.
And all of this leads to implications and consequences or consequences. So what we want is to understand that wherever there
You're
is
talking about cause and effect, I'm guessing?
these parts are present. Whether you're reading a book, an article, an essay, a cartoon, listening to music, all of these are products of reasoning. Somebody had to do some reasoning in order to come to these conclusions, and the better their reasoning, the better they usually function living in the complex world that we live in today. So we need to know how to take our own thinking apart and to take apart the thinking of others. And we need
you
to
mean
be
like
able
why
to,
they
once
think
we
this
do this,
or that?
then assess thinking, again, using universal intellectual standards. And I'll come back to those in a few minutes, but you see a few of them at the bottom of this diagram.
Okay, so
Clarity,
that's what I was-
accuracy, precision, relevance, depth, breadth, significance. So we can say, what is your purpose? Are you clear about your purpose? What are your questions? Are you clear about your questions? What information are you using? Is it accurate? Is it relevant? Is it significant? Is it sufficient? So these are moves that we learn to make when we study critical thinking explicitly. The elements of reasoning come out of this understanding.
Universal structure of thought.
If you can read the diagram at the top, whenever we think, we
Analyze
think for a
thinking.
purpose,
We must learn to
within
identify
a point
and
of view
question
based
its
on
elemental
assumptions.
structures.
leading to implications and consequences.
One, whenever
We
we
use
think
data, facts, and
for purpose
experiences
within the
to make inferences and judgments based on concepts and theories.
Okay.
To answer a question or solve a
Applications
problem.
and questions.
You see
We
the
use
8
depth,
elements
facts,
there
and
in a
experience
slightly
to make it
different
through.
format.
Is that interferences or
And when
something
we
in
understand
judgments?
the top circle, we can understand the second. If
Concepts
I
and
understand that
themes.
whenever I think
Answer
for
a
a
question or
purpose,
solve a problem.
then there should be only one step to this question: what is my purpose right now? And I need to be asking that much more often than we typically do in human life.
We should
If
always be
I always
asking,
think within a
what
point
is our
of view,
purpose?
then I can
Pretty
ask
much.
this question: what is my point of view right now? As
What
I'm
is my
reasoning
point of
through
view?
this issue. If
On-
all of our reasoning is based on assumptions, then I can ask, what am I assuming right now?
What am I
So
assuming
you can
right
go
now?
through the rest of the wheel and get the idea. So when we
this is-
understand the elements of
Sometimes I
reasoning,
don't
there
know
are
what I'm
many
thinking.
questions that we can ask,
Which is a
and
hard
should
thing.
be asking based on those elements. There are many ways to apply
You
these
see,
elements. Once
The
you
reason
understand
is
them.
because I also
Here is
don't
one
even know
way.
when I'm stressed.
This is a template
I learned that the hard
that
way.
is often used
Because I'm always told I'm
with,
stressed, apparently, by doctors and stuff.
students
So that's
in
not good.
classrooms where faculty are advancing
So if I
understanding
don't
of
even
the
know
elements
I'm
of
stressed, there's certain things I just will never
note
know,
the
I guess.
simplicity and note the details.
I have to be
You
told
can take
it.
an essay, an
Yeah.
article, a chapter,
And then I'll know, oh, well, I
and
guess
we can have our students do this again
that's
and
a
again.
thing, you know?
We can ask them, what is the main purpose of the article? In number 1, the main purpose is. Number 2, the key question or questions the author is addressing is or are as follows. What is the most important information in the article? Number 3, what are the main inferences? Number 4, and number 5, what are the main concepts? You know we're going to have the 8, so what are
isn't
the
that-
main assumptions that the author is making?
Wow.
If we take this line of thinking
is
seriously,
making
number
me
7,
notice
what are
the
some
ads more.
implications that will follow?
I'm glad I put
And
that up,
finally, What is the point of view from which you're looking at this, and how are you seeing it? When our students go through this practice again and again, they come to understand the logic of whatever it is that they're reading in a much more deep way. You can also take the same elements, apply them to the
Analyzing
logic
problems.
of a question, the
I remember
logic of
this.
a problem,
Or I
the
know the
logic of
general
questions emerging from the problem.
ideas of this.
You start by asking the question, what is the problem? Detail that. What is the key question that emerges from that? What is my purpose in addressing it? Again, having our students do this multiple times so that they learn the concepts in critical thinking and the language of critical thinking. We want them to internalize that. The only way they're going to do that is if they have a considerable practice in this. So we've talked about the
Considerable practice. Oh, okay.
cultivation of intellectual traits. We spent a little bit of time on the analysis of thought. Now let's move to the second point in the circle, the assessment of thought. So once we take our thinking apart and we have the elements, we ask ourselves, well,
Clarity,
now that I
accuracy,
know what my
precision,
purpose
relevance,
is, and I can
depth,
state what my
breadth,
question
logic,
is,
significance, and
and I
fairness.
know what the concepts are that I'm using,
Evaluate
or I'm
thinking,
reading
we
an
must
article
understand
and I
and
can
apply
state
intellectual
what the purpose
standards.
is, I think I know what the questions are that the author is asking, and I'm pretty sure this is the information. So once the student has done that, the question is, how do they then judge the quality of the reasoning? We judge the quality of reasoning through universal intellectual standards. Notice the simplicity here, and here are some.
This is
the
definitely
essential intellectual
similar
standards
to
that we all
some of the
should be
stuff
using
I
on a
remember in
regular
English
basis
class.
to develop our thinking. Clarity, accuracy, precision, relevance, depth, breadth, logic, significance, and fairness. And there you see a brief definition of each one. And once we have internalized intellectual standards, one part of that internalization is understanding the questions that emerge from our understanding of that standard. So if I understand clarity in thinking, that it's important in thinking, and I know what it means, then I will routinely make certain intellectual moves such as this. I don't understand what you just said. Can you say that in other words? I didn't use the word clarity. I could have said, I'm not clear on what you said. Can you say that in other words? I didn't say that, but I meant that. And it's obvious when I say, can you say that in other words? Can you give me an example?
Yeah.
Or let me
That's
tell
what
you
that
what I
means.
understand
Okay.
you to be saying. Is that correct? These are, again, all intellectual moves our students need to learn to make and make on a regular basis, in and out of the classroom. Accuracy. Somebody brings up some information and is trying to prove a point through that information. My question might be, how do you know that's accurate? What is your, where are you
And then
getting
you can
your
get the
evidence?
proof.
What is your
Okay.
evidence?
So you want to see the proof on that one. Okay.
And
Yeah.
or
That makes sense.
how's that relevant to the question that we're focusing on?
If it doesn't,
We want
yeah,
our
okay.
students to be
So
able to
this
be
is just a
precise
class,
in their
pretty
use
much.
of
This is pretty much a class
This is very
of
important. And as we
thinking.
all know, we're moving away from precision of thought historically, not more toward precision of thought. When we bring in precision, we're asking for more details. We're asking you to unpack.
And a
your
lot of people
thoughts.
don't ask
We're
for
asking
more
you to tell us
details.
more about what you think.
Yeah.
And now with texting and the shortening of language, and we're creating
That's becoming
going
less
more
and
more to
less.
the concise. So say it as simply as possible.
Yeah. That is
tweet it
very
out in
true.
one sentence.
Yes,
And
that is true. That is
this
very
is
true.
not going to lead us to the cultivation
And it can be
of critical
misinterpreted
thinking,
because
thinking
they'll think
frequently
it's
requires
actually
us to
what they're
take-
thinking,
take
even
apart
though
our
they
thinking
didn't ask if that's
and
what they
to
were
give
thinking.
more
It
details,
could have been
and
once again
to
misinterpreted.
unpack, to give specifics.
That I
This
get
is
that.
precision. Relevance is another very important intellectual
We
standard,
have
and it's
moved
very
away
obvious.
from
I think what that
asking.
means, if it's relevant, it's directly related to the situation or answering the question. And often our students are bringing in ideas that are not relevant, or we ourselves are, maybe in meetings and other places. And when we're thinking critically, somebody will say, how is that relevant to what we're focusing on here? It's a good question. It's a significant question, but I don't see the relevance. And somebody may say, well, here's how it's relevant. Okay, well, good, then I see that now. Or I'm not really seeing that. So we've got to use this language again explicitly so that we can practice understanding the language itself and developing our understanding of how we can better use it. Depth is required when a situation is complex.
Okay.
So we take the problem of sustainability. It's a highly complex question as to how we can best sustain the Earth's resources. There's only a way that we're going to answer that, and that's through dealing with all of its complexities. And breadth is required when there's more than one point of view that is relevant. And so we know that many of the problems facing humans today
I'm a
are
good
broad
lurk.
and face
Thanks.
us all. And like
I appreciate that.
a worldwide pandemic where everyone is potentially frightened by a virus that's spreading across the world. So we've got to think broadly, considering multiple points of view when dealing with many of the problems that we face. Logic, another important intellectual standard. Do the parts fit together? Do they logically flow? Does this idea that you're using relate to this other idea that you're using? If so, show me the connection, the logical connection. We want our students to ask the question, is that logical? Does that seem right? It may be logical and it may be accurate, but it may not seem quite like we can accept it. And in those cases, we want our students to dig a little further, or to at least withhold judgment. I'm not really sure. I need to think about this. Significance. Many people in the world are focused on the trivial.
Yeah.
They're focused on what is really not significant in the long term.
Yeah, that's true.
And this
That's
is
true.
unfortunate because human life is something that we should be celebrating and something that we should be enjoying.
Yeah, I
and
do agree with that.
something that we should be advancing.
True,
But to
and
do all those
unfortunate.
things,
It's unfortunate.
we also want to achieve at the highest levels that we can.
You're gonna have to make
do that,
Spinoza
we need to
ethics
focus
the
on what is
entire next
significant.
stream. Whoa, it's
And
2
Achievement means different things to
or
different
2.
people.
It's 8 hours.
And-
Wow.
and
Okay.
so what I'm saying is that there
That is a
the-
long one.
There are the important things in life that we want to connect with, and those are the things that are.
If I do it
should
exactly
be
when I get
our
up, I think I would
primary
have the
focus,
energy
not
to do
our
that. Yeah.
clothing and our hairstyle.
Maybe. It
and
depends.
Whether we have the
We have to
newest
see.
and latest vehicle or whatever trivial ideas are pulling us away
Super long.
from
Whoa. Okay.
the
Okay.
important things that we want to be focusing on. And then, of course, fairness is an essential intellectual standard, because where another point of view is relevant,
Long isn't bad though.
the critical thinker
It can be
will
good.
think about that viewpoint and will fully consider it in good faith, not to dismiss it, but to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is that humans have never really valued fair-mindedness as a social goal across human societies. That's not where we are.
I feel like I used to be
We
more
are-
like super
there are
fair
many
back in the
people
day,
who
I guess,
do
if we want to
see
put it
the
in a
importance
category. That was
and
me
are working
before.
toward it.
And
But
I've kind
it's
of leaned
not
more
a-
away from it as much.
It's not a standard that we naturally
It's not like I don't do
want
it.
to
It's
adhere
just
to in
now
many
I
cases.
guess I
And we
don't
have to work
listen
toward that
or I
toward
ignore it
being
a little
fair
more, I guess.
to everyone involved.
Because I've noticed it being ignored a lot
So
by everybody.
you can take the elements, the standards, and the traits.
Unfortunate,
Together, they form
but
a framework for thinking.
I it's just unfortunate, right?
that enables you to think through any field of study. And these are just some examples that could be added to this list, but this is an unlimited
Form of thoughts,
list that could be
traits
created.
of mind, standards,
So,
elements of
in
thought,
other
framework
words,
of thinking,
we use our knowledge of
long-term
the elements
planning,
of reasoning,
assessment and
intellectual standards, and
testing,
intellectual virtues
admiration,
to reason
administration
through
and leadership,
any
design of
field of
instructions,
study,
thinking that
any
is
part of human life
conventional,
that
ideology,
we are
theological, legal,
focusing
ethical,
on.
observing, speaking, listening, writing, reading, reasoning, social discipline, arts and humanities. Okay.
One of
Physical
the
and life science, math and
things that we have to
quadratic
focus on,
disciplines,
as I mentioned
professional
before,
fields, building a
is
critical society. Oh,
the
that was a lot, huh?
problem of egocentric thinking, and then its sister, the problem of sociocentric thinking. Now, these can be taken as separate concepts, and that's because they're not exactly the same, of course, but there is a lot of overlap between them. And one way to begin to look at this is to understand the human mind
Frequently
as having
irrational
natural
while having the
egocentric
capacity
and
for rational
sociocentric tendencies,
Hmm.
while naturally also developing some intellectual skills, and yet at the same time requiring the active cultivation of intellectual traits or virtues, ethical sensitivities, and many intellectual skills. So what I'm saying here is that the mind does, of course, naturally develop some intellectual skills. In other words, the mind does naturally think critically to some degree. Everyone
That's interesting.
at some time or at
What
some
is that? I
times
wonder.
does think critically, but maybe not enough, or maybe very little. And yet the human mind is
It's just
also
instinct, I guess,
naturally
somehow.
inclined frequently toward egocentric and sociocentric thinking. Again, egocentric thinking being thinking which is really, it's thinking which is trapped within itself, unable to see other points of view, unable to think within any other perspectives, at least while being egocentric. And the egocentric mind can also be selfish. So selfishness is an easy concept for anyone
I feel
to
like they
understand.
coincide
Because
with
I can ask you
egotistic,
this: do you
right?
know anyone who is selfish? And
Yeah.
you will say yes. And I will say,
I think a lot of people
just
do.
think
Yeah.
about how that person acts when he or she is being selfish. Now, if I said, can you think of someone who is selfish? And you say yes. And I
yes.
say, did you think of yourself first?
Ah.
How many of you will admit that the selfish person that you thought
That
of
you
was
thought
yourself?
yeah. Okay.
First?
So it was part
tells
of
you
your
something in
ego.
itself. So selfishness,
That's a good
or
one. Okay.
rigidity of mind, closed-mindedness,
Closed-mindedness.
all of
Yeah.
these,
I can see that.
traits, bigotry, prejudice, bias, all of those happen in the minds of humans. All of us engage in these. But it seems that when you're thinking within your own mind, which is the only way you can think, it seems that you are the one who has the right way of thinking. So
True.
when we
You
think
start
in
thinking
this
that.
way,
Yeah.
it's I am the way, the truth,
When
and
you
the
think
light.
you know something,
And
yeah,
I know everything.
you start having that
and
mentality.
You know nothing. Now you do.
Especially
you
people
can
that are more
imagine some
intelligent
people that
or
you've
smarter
met
and stuff like
who
that,
are
or just more
very
knowledgeable in
pushy
certain
with their-
areas. They will have that
their
confidence.
selfishness, or I'm sorry, with their with their narrow-mindedness. In other words, they take their narrow views and they keep trying to convince you to change.
Yes.
And you know some people who are they think that they're always right all the time.
Not
no
open
matter
to
what.
new ideas.
These are people that
Stuff
you
like that.
call
It's like
hard-headed.
yeah,
all
it's like
coming from
they're
egocentric
a
thinking.
professional in their field,
And
but there's a
some-
new way
Obviously,
of doing
humans
something,
do not learn to
and
be egocentric.
they don't want to open up
We
to
are
that new way,
naturally
that quicker new way.
skilled
In fact, that's
and
more
inclined
efficient.
toward
I guess you could say
self-deception,
it's something like that.
which is the mechanism, the primary mechanism, as far as I can tell, for both egocentric and sociocentric thinking. So we deceive ourselves into thinking that there's nothing wrong with our thinking. So if I'm being completely closed-minded, I'm telling myself all the reasons why I am correct and this other person
Right.
is wrong. And I may be in that process including things, information that actually is correct. I'm convincing myself with this correct information. But what if I'm leaving out information that is also relevant?
Now that does happen. That does happen. Whether we
And by leaving
feel like
it out,
we
I
know,
can
whether we
deceive
didn't mean
myself
to or
into
not,
thinking
we do leave certain
that
stuff out
I'm
sometimes,
correct.
and it does lead
And
to
by
that.
focusing on the parts
She is right.
of the
You're right.
argument on the other side that possibly are flawed, and not focusing on the parts of the other argument that are not flawed, again, I can avoid seeing reality. This is done every day by people across the world.
That is
And
true,
So we've
especially
got
lately.
to have command of our egocentric nature. And there's a lot more in this, but that's a beginning place. Again, the related set of tendencies in the mind to egocentric thinking can be categorized under the term sociocentric thinking. So where egocentric thinking is selfish, again, sociocentric thinking is looking out for the desires of the group, to protect the group. You could say, well, there's nothing wrong with protecting your group. Well, there's nothing wrong with protecting your group as long as by doing so you're not violating the rights and needs of someone else. That's the question. There's nothing wrong with pursuing your own desires as long as
Yeah.
you're not violating the rights of someone else.
Yeah.
It all boils down to this. Are you denying someone or a sentient creature a right that they should naturally have?
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
A right
I
that
remember
they
I
should
started
have by
talking
their
to
very
you.
nature.
We're
So,
like, this guy is
sociocentric
bullshitting, but the
thinking
more
is
I go
focusing
on, the more
getting
it's let
more
him
for
cook.
our group. And
That's
often
funny.
that means more for our, it can be our family. And that, obviously, we have to be concerned
funny.
about our families. Just because you're
Yeah,
protecting your
I agree,
family and
I agree.
providing for them does not mean
Yeah.
you're being sociocentric. The
Okay,
question
so
is,
that is
how do you
okay.
act in the family in relationship to
Okay.
those outside of the family?
I was wondering that. That's exactly before,
And
yeah.
we can be sociocentric
not
in terms of the way we
sociocentric.
perceive our nation, or the way we think of our gender. You know, when people say, you know, women are like this, we women are like this. What does that mean?
That's a
You
perception.
can't lump all
right?
women together. except
Stereotypes, yeah.
in very basic terms of definition. And so that means that that understanding how we function in groups is very complex. But one thing we have to be careful of is not to violate other people's rights as we're functioning in groups. So if joining together is going to harm someone else, then that's going to be a problem. And now the other part of sociocentric thinking, other than, let's say, group selfishness or groupishness, is
What is it?
the parallel to egocentric rigidity of mind, and it will be sociocentric rigidity of mind, thinking within the logic of our group. and not being able to imagine any other logic
outside
being,
it,
relevant to helping us reason better.
Mm-hmm.
So we're locked into this way of thinking. We validate one another in our groups.
Mm-hmm.
We don't let
That's kind of
people
what
in
they
who
used to
don't
show a
agree
lot
with
in
our
movies,
ideas.
like high school movies, the cliques.
Um,
Yeah, the cliques.
And so
that's
you
exactly
can
what
think
it
of
is.
many
It's kind of
examples
similar
of
to what
this
cliques would
historically
be like.
in your own life, because these problems, the problem of egocentric and sociocentric thinking, are pervasive throughout human life, and they cannot be left out of any rich or substantive or robust conception of critical thinking, because it's not enough to just teach students the elements of reasoning and the intellectual standards and even the intellectual virtues, because they will be using these and using them well in many cases and thinking that now they are the critical thinker. And what happens is that they develop in that process very often intellectual arrogance. They think that they
That's
know
what I
more
was
than
thinking.
they do know.
I was just thinking
and that
that.
is often
They got an
related
ego.
to, well, it is coming from either their egocentric or their sociocentric thinking, or a combination of both. So if we do not teach these concepts of egocentric and sociocentric thinking directly, we're really not going to be able to achieve our goal of advancing critical thinking across human societies, because we'll be thinking that we're doing it when actually we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are not just psychological and sociological concepts. They're direct barriers to critical thinking. And anything that's a direct barrier to critical thinking must be included in its theory. To take this a bit further, and I've already said much of this, but imagine that you're seeing the world on a daily basis.
Okay.
You're looking at the world.
Okay.
But you're looking at the world. You're looking at what's happening in the world, what happens to you.
And what happens to
lenses.
me? What type of
These
lenses?
lenses are based in the egocentric and sociocentric thinking frequently. So we're looking through the lenses of our biases, our
How
distortions.
we see reality.
We're projecting onto other people what we ourselves are doing.
We got a filter on.
Mechanisms.
Yeah.
Rationalization. Rationalizing my behavior even though there's
Right.
some kind of problem with it that I don't want to see. Giving reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing, which may be perfectly good reasons, but they're not the real reason.
Right.
All kinds of fallacies exist in human thinking, and these form part of our lenses. Egocentric pathologies, sociocentric pathologies, selfishness, rupishness, prejudice, bias, etc. So if you're looking at the world through these lenses, if our students are looking at the world through these lenses, then how will critical thinking help them break through that?
And that's what you want.
There is only one way that I know of, and that is to teach the toolbox of critical thinking. And that toolbox of critical thinking, I have pointed out a couple of times, but in closing, let me remind you of these, that we have the problems I've just been focusing on of egocentric and sociocentric thinking that serve as primary barriers to the cultivation of intellectual traits, and dispositions and virtues, and that is our main focus for critical thinking, because we need to create a world which embodies fair-mindedness and critical thinking.
So we
want
both.
to develop the ethical and the intellectual character of the human species.
I mean, that makes sense, yeah. Obviously, obviously, right?
One classroom at a time, one teacher at a time, one student at a time. And I will end with this quote by William Graham Sumner from Folkways, 1906. The critical habit of thought, if usual in society, will pervade all its mores, because it is a way of taking up the problems of life. Men educated in it cannot be stampeded by stump orators. They're slow to believe. They can hold things as possible or probable in all degrees, without certainty and without pain. They can wait for evidence and weigh evidence, uninfluenced by the emphasis or confidence with which assertions are made on one side or the other. They can resist appeals to their dearest prejudices and all kinds of cajolery. Education in the critical faculty is the only education of which it can be truly said that it makes good citizens. So with that, thank you for joining me, and I hope that you have benefited
Well,
from
thank you.
this very brief introduction to
Oh, this was brief?
critical thinking. Thank you.
This was brief. Okay. Warning. Spinoza takes this worldview and assumes it's all wrong. Really? And I'm guessing that 8 hours is a little bit is explaining why, right? But oh my goodness. Okay. Well. That's interesting. Okay. We got now onto the 6 levels of thinking. Yes. Was it? It was the first one, right? But you said whole math, so it had to be the basic, right? Or is it under full math? No. Filter this also. Okay. 20 plus. Okay. Then scroll. Critical thinking. Lecture 6 efficient thinking. Levels of thinking. Earth defense. 4 ways of thinking. How to create the perfect mini map. Stop. Oh. Scroll up. Okay. I'm gonna stop right here because session 2. Session 2. Had to be down here, right? Session 2. Maybe it's. Where am I looking? Session 2. Cognitive levels. Where was that? I'm blind. Start from the top. Cognitive levels. Yeah, I am blind. For some reason, I've noticed this too. This happens. I don't know why. Cognitive levels. Yeah, where? Lecture 6. Levels of thinking. Cognitive. This one, right? Cognitive levels. Right there. This one, right? I'm not imagining it now, right? Yes, okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm blind. Definitely blind. This one's super loud. I don't know why. Turn it down just a smidge. Oh yeah, that's...
Okay, welcome guys. We are
okay, there we go.
Cognitive levels and thinking maps, unit
Perfect.
number 2. So what we're going to be looking at in this stage is we're going to be looking at 2 aspects. We're going to be looking at applying and analyzing. So during this lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to be focusing on the 2 Bloom's taxonomy levels, which are apply and analyze. This forms cognitive level number 2.
Bloom's taxonomy is level 2.
During these levels, what you would need to do is you would need to examine information and apply your own knowledge to new situations.
Okay.
Some of the verbs that we will be encountering in this particular level would be discuss.
Revise,
You would
analyze,
also have
explain, classify,
explain.
examine, and
In
determine.
addition to that, we would need to examine. On occasion, we would require you to advise. Quite often, though, you would also be asked to categorize or classify something. On occasion, we'd want you to determine or analyze something. So these are the verbs that we could be asking you to be using at this cognitive level. So your question is, would you need to use these verbs in an exam? Yes. These verbs are used to help you understand which cognitive level you are working on. And as we demonstrated in the previous unit, number 1, you would find that each one has a very specific meaning and wants you to do something very specific. So yes, these verbs are ones that you would encounter for this cognitive level, and they would be used by your teachers. The first verb that we're going to be looking at for this cognitive level is discuss.
Discuss, okay.
When we ask you to discuss
Consider and
something,
apply relevant
we
knowledge
are
and
asking
understanding.
you to apply relevant knowledge to this event or situation.
Okay.
What you would need to be doing is considering the information that you have, the knowledge you have of your own, and apply it when you are defending something.
So this is the defense case.
Apply your knowledge. So when you are doing this, you might be asked to discuss something as in a conversation. You might even be asked to give examples.
Okay.
So you are discussing it like a conversation and perhaps even given examples.
And examples for... Alright.
So a nice way to look at this particular verb is think of any discussion you have. If you are asking your parents to allow you to go out for the evening with your friends, you have a conversation with them.
Right.
You give facts about the event.
Where you going and all that
take
stuff.
in what they are saying. This is very similar to discuss. The verb discuss means exactly that. As if you were having a conversation. You are
just a basic
arguing
conversation.
for one side of the conversation, given examples, listing information if you need to. The next verb that we will be looking at would be explain. With
Now explain your case.
You would be asked either to give a definition or you would be asked to list examples or provide information, reasons why you are arguing for that.
Right.
Okay? So
that's more along
what
the
you
lines
are
right there at the
doing
end, what I was thinking.
specifically is you are either giving a definition or you could be asked to provide examples or provide reasons.
Okay. Providing reasons, that's more along what I was thinking.
The way that the question is structured will tell you what your teacher wants you to be doing. So an example of explain would be explain why slavery happened during the transatlantic slave trade. You would be explaining the term slavery and then providing examples and explaining why it happened. Can anyone think of a way that this
After
verb could be
Spinoza,
used
I'm
in a
not going to
different subject?
prove this worldview wrong,
Okay, very good.
but
Explain
but
why
prove
it
they
would
are
be
all wrong,
important
and
for
there
you
can never
to
be objectively
consume
correct.
all the vitamin and
So you're
minerals
saying,
for your
just
body.
in general,
Very
every
good.
worldview is
The
incorrect.
next verb that we would be
Correct?
looking at would be examine. When your teachers ask you to examine
Yes.
something, you're sort of like playing
Funny enough,
detective.
I can
So
see that.
you would be given a
As
comprehension
weird as
or
that might
perhaps
sound,
even a cartoon,
I can see
visual
that.
literacy,
That makes
where
the
you
most
would be
sense to me.
asked to look at the document or look at the cartoon or look at the facts provided, and then what you're going to do
It is,
try
yeah,
interpret
it
that
can be super
information
complicated to
and
prove. Yeah,
answer the
actually, yeah.
questions. So usually when it comes to the word examine, you are being given an instruction. You are
I would like to
playing
know why,
detective.
though. Yeah.
Look at the facts and interpret those
Guess we have
facts
something to look
by
forward to.
applying your own knowledge. An example of how
We have
that
mathematically,
could be
though.
done would be
Oh,
examine the photograph below and answer the questions about the settlement. That is an example of how the word examine is used as an instruction. Does anyone have an idea of how this
we have.
word could be
You're
used in a different
100%
subject other than
correct.
geography? Not too sure.
I didn't even usually think of that. I don't
So
ever
I've
usually think of
given
that.
an example of the word examine for geography, and I've mentioned how it can be used in English. For example, examine the cartoon and answer the questions that follow. In history, we could have
Examine
something
the
very
facts, okay.
similar. If we are given an actual artifact, we could examine the actual artifact and try and determine how old it is. And if we're
Yes,
lucky, we can even
kind of,
determine where it
to some
was
degree.
found. One of my favorite verbs would be the verb advise. And I like advise particularly because it is something that anyone can do.
Mm.
If you have to
If
give
you're good
someone
enough at it,
advice about
yes.
a problem that they have, what are you doing exactly? Very good. So when you are given advice, you are given information and perhaps even your own personal experience and your own personal knowledge to help them solve a problem.
Yeah.
Would you like to add? So an example
Oh,
of
they
an
cut out
out-of-school
the
scenario
people
would be if
adding
you are
to it
given
and stuff.
advice to a
Interesting.
friend who is being bullied, you can help them solve that problem by advising them to go to a teacher
To your best of your ability.
and speak to the teacher to help solve the problem, to end the bullying. That is a very good example.
That's
And
an
that
advice.
actually ties into what our definition
Yeah.
of advice is. What you are doing
Is it
is you
the
are
will it lead
solving
to
a
the
problem,
results? Who knows? Only they know.
but more accurately, what you are doing is giving knowledge and giving your opinion in solving that. So you will see that when we are giving advice and when we are looking at discussing or explaining something, we are applying our own personal knowledge. This is what it means to be using a cognitive level 2 scenario. So with cognitive level 2, what you are doing is applying your knowledge, analyzing the information, and then providing an answer. You are not recalling the information. You are not memorizing the facts to try and regurgitate the facts onto your answer sheet. The next verb that we're going to be looking at would be the verb classify.
Okay.
When you are classifying something, you are looking at different aspects and putting them into categories.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this would be an example of how you would do it.
Like
I
how
give
we
you a
categorize
list of mammals,
just everything.
and I give you a
Categorize
list of
foods, the
amphibians,
fruits,
and I
the
give you a
vegetables.
list of reptiles,
Like you said,
and I mix
yeah,
them all
animals
up.
and reptiles. Yeah.
And I tell you to classify the animals into their categories. So we give you the category mammals, reptiles, and amphibians, and you'd have to classify the animals into their specific categories. Can anyone give me an example of how we could use the word classify if it were not used for natural science and technology? How else could we use it? That's an excellent one. So If we were looking at English, we could be looking at a list of words
fiction,
or a list of phrases
history.
or examples and
Would
say,
that be it?
classify these into
The categories
different
for the
figures
books?
of speech.
Oh,
That's very
for
good.
for speech.
Is it possible to classify things in mathematics? Okay, so when you have an answer at the bottom, you might need to classify your examples, your answers, into different categories. Absolutely. In mathematics, you deal a lot with shapes. As a result of that, you can classify them into the different categories. For example, spheres and circles versus squares and cubes, depending on whether you're working in 2D or 3D. The other thing is you could actually classify shapes into either being 2D or 3D. The next verb that we're going to be looking at would be the word determine. When we are trying to determine something, we are deducing information. And really that is a nice way of saying conclude
Yeah, we're trying to just figure out.
assess after considering the facts. When we are determining, you're putting that detective hat back on. So you're going to be looking at the facts, and that doesn't really always give you the answer. Those are giving you
that is
clues.
true.
What you are doing then is you are coming up with a conclusion behind that. So an example of that would be there is a person on the floor, and unfortunately they're dead, and there's blood.
That's literally detective. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're trying to figure out everything with all the evidence you have. That is a really good example.
You conclude that a gun was used to kill that person. With further investigation, you can determine how.
Yeah.
So
Or if
that
it
is
was
what
even a
we
gun.
are trying to do when we determine something. An example in English would be when you get those really tricky comprehension questions, and they give you all the different clues, and you've got to come up with a new answer with it. And you're like,
Oh,
but
man.
how would I do this? The
I remember
facts are
that.
giving you clues. You play detective. In history, you look at all the facts at an archaeological site. So an example
Tongue twister,
would be,
huh?
I look at a campfire, and I look at Stone Age weapons, and I see torn fabric. Now, depending on what it all looks like and how fresh the campfire would be and how fresh the material is, I could determine if that would be an age-old heritage site where we had a group of people living there for a while, or whether someone set up campfire and there just happened to be Stone Age weapons nearby.
Yeah, okay.
So I would look at the facts and I would determine
Figure it all out.
information from them.
Right.
I would come up with a conclusion. Okay. Can anyone think of how we could apply this within a subject that is not English or history? That is a very good example. So you are explaining that you have a scenario, you have a case study where an individual is eating chips and chocolates and candy, and you need to determine if their diet is healthy or not using that information. So you are coming to a conclusion.
They're eating chips and soda.
Yes, their diet is healthy
doubt
for
their
these
diet's
reasons,
healthy at all.
or no, their diet is not healthy for these reasons. One of the more common verbs that you will probably encounter from grade 4 all the way to grade 12 would be the word analyze.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Is not that
I used to
tricky
use that
once you
word
know
a
what
lot.
it is that you're looking at and what it is that it needs you to do. What you are doing when you are analyzing would be to break a concept, a whole, into multiple parts. Look at the individual parts.
You're looking at everything.
And then determine something at the end. Okay? So, an example, or rather, let's put on the definition first. You are looking you're breaking something down into the parts. You are then looking at the successes or the failures of it, the good or the bad. If need be, you are then bringing it back together and arguing for a side. So depending on the type of question you're being asked, you might have to determine something at the end. But analyze in its essence means to break something down into its parts and then look at the good and the bad in it, the success or the failure. An example of how the word analyze could be used would be if I were to say, analyze the causes of land distribution under the apartheid system. So what I'd be looking at is I'd taken the topic of land distribution under the heading of apartheid, breaking it down into the various different parts. And I'd be looking at each individual part and its effect on apartheid and the land distribution. Can anyone?
We're analyzing each one. Okay.
We could use the word
Each land.
So that's a good one. And you've been very specific in it. Your question would be, analyze the successes and the failures of Galileo. That's perfect. So, so we've looked at the verbs that you can be looking at when we are applying and analyzing, particularly at cognitive level 2. What we're going to look at now is the thinking maps that you can be using, the visual aids. Last week, when we did Unit 1, we looked at the specific thinking maps that can be used
Cause and effect,
for those
brace
categories.
maps, and tree maps.
So we're going to do the same now. We're going to look at 3 thinking maps.
I remember doing stuff like this.
The cause and effect thinking map, the brace map, and the tree map. Looking at the cause and effect map, what we would be looking at would be something that is influencing a topic, something that causes an event, and the result, the effect, the consequence of that. So we'd have to start off with our topic. What is it that we want to be looking at? This thinking map is brilliant to use in history.
Very good question.
If you are analyzing something, you are breaking it down into its parts. Okay, so if I'm looking at the causes of slavery, for example, my topic would be slavery. On the left-hand side of
would be a different
the
topic.
thinking map,
Or
we
you...
would have the
you're doing spider map?
causes. Anything that led to an event or led to something happening. Sometimes you can have one cause, sometimes it can be multiple causes. But every event or every decision usually has a consequence, and that is the effect that we look at. On the right-hand side of the thinking map, we have the effect, the consequences.
2 different things, okay, yeah. What happened because of it?
Personally, I love using this map for history because it's a nice way to visualize what happened in a particular event. And you can use it for any event. The migration of a group of people, the cause of World War II, as we previously suggested, you can use it for slavery. But in addition to that, if you were planning a story in English, for example, you can use this thinking map. So your main character decides that he wants to do something. He is causing an event, okay? Then you discuss the event and look at the consequences. So it's a wonderful thinking map to use if you want to actually look at plausible causes and effects of something.
It's everything you can think of from that topic.
So if your main character is 13 years old,
it's a good planning one, yeah.
He or she
Makes
sneaks
sense.
out of the house.
It's like the spider map to me.
And the parents find out, there are consequences. So on the right right-hand side, we would then look at possible consequences to one decision of actually doing something. Can you use this cause and effect in a different subject, for example, life orientation? That's a good one. So if we had the topic bullying, we could look at what caused the bullying. So,
and then what
for example,
effects happened.
a child
Yeah.
not being treated well as a young person and not getting enough attention, a love or affection. And the result could be that they become more violent, that they become a bit more aggressive and a bully. A brace map is fantastic if you want to analyze something. So when I want to analyze something, I want to show the breaking down as well as the relationship between it. So with the brace map, we start with the hole on the left-hand side. So we start with the hole, and then we break it down into different parts. Okay, so I could have part 1 here, part 2 there, part 3, and part 4.
Parts?
If need be, I can break it down even further and put even more information.
And it keeps going and going
showing the
if need be.
This
Yeah, that
particular
makes.
map is fantastic
I know this one then.
if you want to actually break down a physical thing as well. So one of the ways that I was taught to use this would be for biology. So we start off with the body, the person as a whole, and then we break it down into different parts. So for example, extremities, torso, and you break it down even
And keep
further
going.
than that. So the extremities consist of the hands and the feet and the head, where you are losing heat. The torso consists of the chest area, and then you break it down.
Right.
What do we find in that chest area? So we have ribs, we have a heart, we have organs on the inside, and this is great for breaking things down in a very obvious way. But it also helps you categorize it and classify it into its different sections. So for me, I like using this particular thinking map if I'm analyzing something and need to break it down into parts, or if I'm categorizing something. But there is another thinking map if all you are doing is categorizing things into specific categories, and that would be our tree map. So the next thinking map
I feel like it's similar.
would be the tree map. Has everyone heard of
Or
a
is it
family
only
tree?
just two?
Yeah,
No, it is
everyone's
similar
heard
to
of
me
a
then.
family
To me,
tree.
it's
And
similar.
what do we do in a family tree? Very good.
It's only
So
one sideways
a
and one's,
family tree would
not.
start with you and then go down to your parents and then your grandparents and then your great-grandparents. And what you're doing is you are classifying these things in the different categories. Each level deals with a new generation. So at your level, any siblings you have would also be under your particular category. Okay, so a nice way of doing that would be looking at it like this, starting with you, and if you have any siblings, you'd include them at your level.
Of course,
then
yes.
naming your parents, parent 1, parent 2, and then going further down.
Oh, we're going the
into
opposite way.
naming your 4 grandparents.
And then we
and
keep
so
going
on
down
and
from
so
there,
forth.
yeah.
That's why it is called a family tree. It usually forms the shape of one, where at the end you've got that big tree leafy area. Okay, and at the trunk you've got you. You are the last generation. This would be just flipped the other way around to create that illusion. So a family tree uses a tree map, and it's excellent for categorizing things. You don't also have to use it just for categorizing families though. In English, you can also use it to categorize things into different parts. So, for example, if I'm looking at the parts of speech, okay, if I'm looking at the parts of speech, I can categorize them into the different ones. So next would be nouns and perhaps verbs.
Yes.
Then we look at the different types of nouns.
And then
what
the different types of
nouns do we
verbs.
have?
Okay.
So we have
Yeah.
a common noun, a
Then we keep
proper
breaking it
noun,
down.
a pronoun, a collective noun. If we're looking at verbs, we look at the different types of verbs we have there. For example, your auxiliary verb or your action verb. And you just categorize them into the next ones. If you need to use one with multiple sections, you can also do that.
Oh, I don't think I've ever
an
seen
example would
that.
be listing just the types of nouns because they're not
I don't think I've ever seen it
subcategorized
that
further.
way.
And the same with the verbs, listing the types of verbs.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen
You
it
can
listed
categorize them further down
particularly
if you
ever
need them.
before.
Okay, so a brace map and a tree map. A brace map is flipped on its side, looking at the parts, but a tree map is used to classify things, to put them
Specifically
into
for
specific
classification.
categories. Okay. Any questions?
All right.
Okay. Thank you. That concludes our lesson
Thank you.
on cognitive levels and thinking maps, unit number 2.
Wow, wow. All right. We finished it. All right, we got that going. I need to save that real quick. Guess we put on the BGM quick. There we go. Let me save this real quick. Oh, give me 1 second. I need to respond to somebody. Let's see. Then last one. Perfect. All right. So we finished all that. We can do Spinoza another stream, like we're saying. And yeah, let's click. And we can finish this video. What time is it? 3 hours in. Yeah, we can do a few more. And then I'll hop off personally. Once again, it's too short. Too short. I need to get on exactly. If I get on exactly when I want, it would be so much better. Like right when I get up, it would be so much better. It would what is the word? It would just be better in general, right? More time to stream and do things. Oh my goodness, that was dangerous. Oh, and there it was. Yep. Figured it was gonna eventually happen. Is that a balloon? Oh my goodness, he broke it! Hamburger. What? What's going on? That's a little loud, right? Just a little loud. At least to me it was. Oh no, that's Call of Duty. Wait, that is they didn't show it, they blurred it down. I guess it was copyrighted or something. This reminds me of that game. I forgot which game it was. It was a basketball game though. But they did this. Maybe a lot more did it as well, but it was like,
hey Link,
just a shooting competition one. What is going on here?
Who let the dogs out? Woof! Woof!
Oh.
Woof! Woof!
You know what's crazy? It's been a while since I've had a regular pizza, and I've been really wanting one lately for some reason.
Man.
No idea why.
I hate high school.
What? No way. No way. And that was it. You know what? I think the endings are what made me like this channel a little bit. And because they were kind of short videos. I feel like that's overall like what kind of made me like this channel specifically. Was the endings. Let's watch this one. Alright. Why are some of them louder and some of them aren't? Maybe it's just random. That's a big rat, by the way. Ooh. Oh. What? What? Oh, there goes the cat. Wait, what? No. Oh, that's Grandma.
If you walk with the Lord, you will never be out
of step. Ooh. Is that a pig? Was that a pig? Wait, was that a... Really, was that a pig? She okay?
Special packaging. Oh. Can you try and work out what it is?
Oh my goodness, he broke it. He didn't catch it.
Watch this.
These are just silly. Oh. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
What's that?
No. Gosh, these guys are. that are they there to arrest him or something?
I'm so proud of you.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Just toss him back. Get closer. Holy shit, she just left.
She just tossed the fish. He did not care about that fish.
Can't see.
Oh my goodness. No, the TV, dude. Why is he? Oh, and that wasn't even the main Lucy. Oh, oh. It's okay, dude. I can't do backflips either. So. Is that a capybara? What is a capybara doing here? It's so random. No! They just all pretty much spilled.
Whoa! Wow!
Oh! And it broke on him. No! You idiot! He just face planted somebody. What is that a bat? It is. What? What is going on?
Is that your bat? Bro, I don't know who he is.
You don't know who he is either? What is going on? Dude.
Nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese.
Pew, pew,
What a
pew.
joke.
Where's the whale?
They modded Minecraft to have a gun, dude. Wow. Whoa.
Oh, fuck this car! Guys, no!
Oh no, it's that. It's that again. That one was on purpose. She threw it. She literally threw it at them. I seen that. Oh. Oh. And he missed.
Снова, бля.
Or silly.
Братан, это немножко не то.
He caught.
Вот здесь. Спасибо.
Outorno grau de farmacêutico.
Ooh, that had to hurt. That was literally on his ankle. Oh.
Coca-Cola.
Oh, snap. That was a bit of a surprise for me. That belly. No, dude, no. No, dude, no. Ah. Ouch. Is that an actual robot? That has to be fake. That's a poor lizard.
Little rat, look at little rat. Hello, little rat. You are so cute. What are you? Are
That's
you a
not
rat?
a rat. That is not a rat.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They're so
this
dumb.
is so unsafe. Oh my god.
I mean, if it works, it works, right? That is a burnt.
Fuck that.
That is a burnt bun. What the?
What do they have?
Alright, good workout.
Ooh, what the? It's ruined some shoes.
Have you guys seen anyone make jam before? Like, literally, what is that? What?
That's this clear liquid or whatever it is. Oh no! Where did it go? that flew somewhere. Somebody might have gotten seriously hurt. That's crazy. Again, that was pretty short. Alright. Excuse me. I don't know why I have the hiccups today. Alright. It's been, excuse me, I really don't know why it's going on with the hiccups. Very random, you know? Alright, I'm gonna call it here. I know, again, short stream. It's all been short. Weird how it's always been short. Lately, it has been a little more consistent around this time, which is kind of weird. Doesn't usually happen. I think that only happened one time at a certain month, a couple years or so. Maybe not even a couple years. Maybe 2 years or something ago. It was something like that. But yeah, it's strange how that's happening again. Very strange. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys for stopping by. You know what? We can go full screen mode or whatever that is. Whatever that screen thing was, right? That with the full size me. Haha. Yes. So yeah, I'll end it here. Let's see. Tomorrow is what? Wednesday? I'm guessing. Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. We'll see if I stream. What I've noticed is one stream and one without usually is more consistent so far of what I've been doing. So that might happen again. I might skip tomorrow, get on the next day. But if I don't, I will be on tomorrow. Probably, I guess, around the same time. Weirdly enough, like I said, that doesn't usually happen. Usually it's very random, very inconsistent. It's random when I'm on because of sleep schedule. Well, not super random, but kind of random. You know what I mean? But if it keeps going consistently, I don't mind that. You know, that's great. At least it'll be somewhat of a good thing for a little while. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Hopefully, what else? I don't know why my mind's going blank. I guess it happens from time to time, right? But yeah, thank you. If you're watching the VOD or wherever that is, whatever you're watching it, thank you for coming. I appreciate that. If you're watching live, thank you. Anybody who follows and not follows off stream, again, thank you. I appreciate that. That's always appreciated. Never don't not appreciate that. I do. And again, remember to stop by next time if you happen to want or like. Notifications are best to be on Twitch specifically, and Twitter and stuff like that. That's just there for now, for like if you want to see VTuber stuff and see other people on there and stuff like that. I usually enjoy watching the clips and reposting it on there. That's what I do on there usually. or tell you, you know, randomly, oh, I had this, or that's going on, or I'm doing this maybe. That's usually what I do on there. Usually if I post them live, it's really not much to notify anybody because there's nobody really on there right now. Like I said, the reason for Discord, again, same thing, similar stuff, situation, but at least on Twitter you'll get some clips and stuff like that I enjoy watching. Yeah, that'll be it. Hopefully